I hope your Thirsty Thursday is going in fantastic fashion. I appreciate you choosing to escape from whatever life you are currently living and allowing me, at Pat McAfee Show, at Shaun Latham, at Ty Schmidt, and at Evan Foxy penetrate your ears and send you to a place of pleasure. A lot of laughs coming your way here in your very near future. I got an interview with my dad that Shaun and I chatted to him about basically my entire life. We talk about my arrest, calling him from jail, his life mottos. And I came from that guy's nutsack. It's a good conversation. He's an enjoyable character. Absolutely enjoyable character. We got a conversation with Kurt Busch, who is the complete opposite of his brother Kyle Busch, who we talked to last week. Kurt Busch is married to a model.
Not only that, an athlete model.
A polo player, which I get baptized in knowledge of what the fuck polo is, by the way. It's not just the Ralph Lauren logo. It is also the U.S. Polo Association logo. It is also an actual sport that I had no idea existed. But it's a real thing. It's the game kings play. You're going to like Kurt Busch. And a little cap off, a little cherry on top, we have a conversation with the Mythbusters. The brand new Mythbusters. Their show debuted last night. I think it was good. Conversation was average, I'll be honest. But I think you're going to enjoy it. It is Thursday, November 17th. Hit the music.
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. He was a high school All-American, a college All-American. He was All-Pro in the NFL, but the thing that he's most proud of is during his show in Muncie, Indiana, he made a woman in the crowd laugh so hard, she shit her pants. Ladies and gentlemen, Pat McAfee!
Hello. I want to talk to you about these new jeans that are sweeping this stoolie nation, Shaun. Muggsy Jeans was started by a stoolie who was tired of being uncomfortable in his jeans. Been there, done that. This guy changed the game. He spent 5 years perfecting the high-tech Muggsy denim that's so soft, breathable, and flexible, you literally feel like you're wearing sweatpants. What, Ty Schmidt?
Yeah, I love sweatpants.
Yeah, every fucking day. You're an adult. What do you wear?
Sweatpants every day.
Yeah, Muggsy Jeans is trying to make you understand that you can look like an adult while still feeling like a child. You, Ty Schmidt.
Sounds great.
The best part is that they move with you. We're all familiar with jeans that fight you every time you bend or move in any way. Muggsy's are so flexible you could do yoga in them. Downward dog, Shaun.
I'm excited.
They make basic things like sitting or squatting feel like a dream. You remember when it used to be a nightmare to sit or squat? Now it is a full-on wet dream for your legs with Muggsy Jeans. Right, Shaun?
100%. You could squat way better now.
Way gooder.
Way better. Way more comfy.
One time you were good. Now, way gooder.
Way gooder.
Way gooder squatting and sitting. It's like a dream.
I've been waiting to get rid of this jeans feeling when I wear jeans.
It's so fucking long.
Wait's over, cuz.
It was almost like there was a clock in my head just like, when are we getting rid of these fucking jeans? And Muggsy Jeans was like, da-da-da-da, 5 years of fucking research. Bing, bang, boom. They're also available in slim and athletic fits, so no matter your body type, skinny, average, stocky, muscular, maybe you're a stocky husky fella like me or an active husky fella, they have the perfect jeans for you. The guys at Muggsy Jeans are confident you'll love them. They do free returns and exchanges, so you have nothing to lose by giving them a try. Why not give it a shot?
I mean, you got nothing to lose.
Try everything once, right?
It's a win-win there.
What if you try something that truly changes the entire direction of your life with this new pair of jeans that's going to make you walk a little bit better, make you peacock a little stronger, make you go ahead and do-si-do into a room like you ain't never seen before, Shaun?
Just live your best life finally.
Wow.
Finally a uniform for living your best life.
What?
That's what that is.
Not Halloween every day, dress up as the best person of your life.
Yep.
Do it. It's like a Halloween. You can get the best looking, most comfortable men's jeans ever made for just $98. Use PAT, P as in pterodactyl, A as in apple, T as in titty at muggsyjeans.com to get $10 plus a pack of Big League Chew. What? This is my first time reading through this. A Big League Chew? Are you kidding me?
Just going to float that in there.
You get $10 plus a pack of Big League Chew. That's $10 off and a pack of nostalgia using code PAT. You deserve to look good and be comfortable in your jeans. Do your legs a favor and head to MugsyJeans.com, MugsyJeans.com to snag a pair of your new favorite jeans. You can return them if you don't like them. Go ahead and pick them up. You're going to love it.
It's a win-win. We all win.
What a fucking ad read by us, by the way. That's a great ad read. Wow. Because we got to all these companies send us these actual pairs of clothes to sample beforehand, and these jeans were very fucking comfortable when they sent them in. I did a downward dog in it because they said you can even do yoga in this, and I did a full yoga thing out here.
Well, yeah, and I saw you had brought in the yoga instructor. I was like, you know what? He's really going to test these.
He's really going to test these.
Like,
with these
can
yoga.
you do these positions?
Hey, Muggsy, we're putting you on what we like to call a check, cuz.
And guess what? Checks and balances came back. It wins. Wins.
At Shaun Latham turned 39 this week. He's had a big week. There's also a bunch of other shit happening. Ty Schmidt and Evan Foxy are pounding the internet's unknown to find stories that we haven't heard of or that we could have known about. And also, I believe we're going to have World News Nick in here potentially for a very expensive update. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I am pumped for this expensive update.
Me too. All right, Ty, what's going on in the world, cuz?
So Karl Anthony Towns, one of the
See the guy with the unibrow?
that's Anthony Davis.
Karl Anthony Towns from Kentucky?
Yeah, they both went to Kentucky.
Yeah, so is the fucking unibrow guy.
Right.
Which one's Karl Anthony? He looks like a big toddler.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, he's young.
Well, he's only like his second year in the league or something.
These basketball players are like 14 years old playing in the NBA. We graduated in Spain, high school, and I went to college in Australia, and then now I'm in the NBA.
I just dunk on fools. That's all I do now.
I'm just really good at basketball. That whole one and done, I'm so sick of it. The NCAA just scamming these kids out of a semester of free boosted ratings for March Madness. I fucking hate it. What if it... Just let them go. Like, if you're good enough to get paid for what you do, you should be able to do it. If a pianist is 14 years old and his little fingers can tickle the ivory in an incredible fashion, he can get paid in the middle of fucking New York City if he wants. If you're 6'8" at the age of 16 and you can windmill dunk from the foul line and you got a nice little jumper, you should be able to go get paid for that. It's all bullshit. Everybody knows it's all bullshit. But anyways, the big toddler said what?
So he was very vocal about saying that he thinks medical marijuana should be allowed in the NBA. I was just kind of
in America?
Yeah.
In America, he meant.
Correct.
He meant America.
So Karl Anthony Towns is going. He's becoming an advocate for weed for athletes.
Essentially, yes.
Oh man, what a nice! This is some Jackie Robinson shit.
I'll tell you what. A lot of guys end up getting like blackballed if they come out very pro like that. Baltimore Ravens had a tackle who was like super into medical marijuana, and he didn't get picked up. Like, he didn't get a job for a while. It was one of those things where the NFL did like, let's not hire Johnny Manziel, same thing. Like, let's not hire that guy. Let's keep that guy out. It's an interesting thing because marijuana has had this stigma from the fucking hippies, Shaun. The hippies ruined it.
Well, propaganda ruined it.
Well, I think the hippies also did ruin it, though.
Yeah.
The hippies did not live in they were very carefree. That's all cool. Mm-hmm. But like protesting and soldiers and shit, like that's dirty, right? Like that's not cool. So everybody thinks like hippies are really cool. Hippies did have a cool mindset, I think. But some of the things they did were not awesome. Yeah. The things that were being viewed as not awesome were by the people who are now very much in charge of all the laws and shit. And their first real life experience with marijuana was with these hippies. So anytime they hear the word marijuana, they automatically just think these fucking hippies. They don't think about Karl Anthony, who? Toddler. Karl Anthony Towns. They don't think about Karl Anthony Towns or like any other guy in the NFL now who is currently investing in medical marijuana in Colorado, Oregon, and Washington. They aren't thinking about those guys. But I think as the light comes to fruition, there's a lot of great advocates for marijuana who aren't just like Wiz Khalifa or Snoop Dogg. Like, there's a lot of athletes who are like, hey, listen, edibles make my knees feel a lot better. I've had 3 surgeries on them. They help out a lot immensely. And there ain't no goddamn pill that's going to ruin my life and my family's life. I'm like, And you know what? I laugh a little bit more too. Like, I enjoy a little bit more of laughter.
Food tastes a little better.
Oh, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? Your taste buds are just like, thank you.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, everything tastes better. You sleep harder.
Oh, wonderful sleep.
What a terrible fucking drug.
Snacks. I mean, you just really get to enjoy snacks.
Oh, every little snack, you just enjoy it so much more.
Cheez-Its.
Pop-Tarts, bro.
Come on.
Bro, the s'more Pop-Tart.
You don't think these players want to taste these snacks like this too? Eat this beef jerky after a workout?
The problem I have is the Broncos live in Denver. Legal. Recreational drug. Colorado. Roger Goodell. No.
Well, that qualifies. That's goes to be said about any business where they drug test.
Well, it's like citizen. Like, isn't there like a right to to be a citizen? Like, there's some. Hold on. I was in a conversation. I was in an email chain with a group of athletes who were trying to protest the NFL because Colorado, like, it was like some. Fuck! I wish I was a lawyer. There was some lawyer in there that was like, you have the ability to basically petition that we should be able to act as if every other citizen would act in the state of Colorado. So if marijuana is legal for them, it should be legal for Broncos players. Like, the job shouldn't, like, the military can do it because there's a lot, like, it was just like a very, and I backed out of it mostly because I didn't understand a lot of the verbiage in there.
Unsubscribe.
Tim Cook saving the day right there at the top.
Oh.
It's like I invested in a fucking restaurant company and they started sending me emails that I just did not understand. And I was just like, I think you guys are going to be a really good company, but I don't understand a fucking word you're saying. So I was wondering, can I get my money back? And they're like, you got it. I'm like, oh, fucking thank you. They're going to go on to be a $bazillion company for sure. But at least I don't have to read any more of those emails that make me feel like I'm a fucking second grader. You know what I mean? Just, I didn't get it. But the weed, it's only a matter of time. Everybody says, like, Dippin' Dots, ice cream of the future. Wrong. Soccer, sport of the future. Wrong. Lacrosse, sport of the future. Wrong. All these things are taking a long time. Everything of the future. Like, Dippin' Dots has been the ice cream of the future forever. It ain't never going to be the ice cream of today, though. Like, that's what I think we're all realizing, you know?
Yeah.
I did a little speech at Dippin' Dots headquarters here in Indianapolis last year.
Oh, yeah?
And I had a real question for
Wait,
you.
they have a headquarters here?
Yeah.
I don't really feel the presence in the city.
Because they're in the future.
Like in Disneyland.
They're not here today. They're in the future.
Okay, you know what? I think I got some at Banker's Life one time.
Can you still buy Dippin' Dots? I haven't seen
It's at
those
events.
anywhere.
They're only at events or whatever. Like, we used to buy them at an amusement park called Kennywood. And the first year they were out, boy, that line was fucking out of the park. Cookies and cream, Dippin' Dots, okay. And then everybody was just like, man, these melt real quick. They'd stick together. It really just comes a lump of ice cream all of a sudden.
Dippin' Blop. Dippin' Blops.
That's really what they became, though. And then
I had some at the State Fair this last time.
They still exist at events, but they're not as big as they were. But I really asked them that. I'm like, when is the future exactly in your guys' eyes? Like, are you guys always going to be the ice cream of the future, or is there ever like going to be like a prime time? You know, like, is there ever going to be like this is our time? They're like, we're not sure. We don't. I was like, yeah, it appears that way. But that's like marijuana. I feel like for the last 5 years, people have been like, it's only a matter of time before it's legal. It's only a matter of time before it's legal. But I didn't really know much about how laws get passed and such. I'm not sure that one's going to pass for a long time. There's a lot of votes that have to happen. And there's a lot of hand jobs that have to be given back. There's like so many things that have to happen for a law to get passed. I don't know, man. Indiana got booze on Sunday out of nowhere, and it was like a celebration. Like, oh, we're getting booze on Sunday? And everybody's like, it's 2017.
Yeah.
What?
Can we live?
Can we?
Jesus, I have to only go to a restaurant. I got to plan ahead.
Can we live?
That's all we want to do.
Laws are weird.
But I think they're going to go faster than normal. I think it's all going to be legal very quick. I mean, even Texas is getting involved. Once Texas is involved.
I think since the beginning of time, Texas is one of the best business states out there. Oil. Imagine how many businessmen are running Texas. They had all that oil up there. They were probably a part of some negotiations of land way back in the day, if I had to guess. They got a pretty fucked up there's a little hat there. Somebody went to war somewhere, you know. Somebody got a piece of land up there. And
I would like to be the guy who drew the line.
Well, it's a river, isn't it?
Fucked up. He's like, all right, let's go around
Hold on, though. On the map, how exact is that river line there? What is it, the Rio Grande? Is that the river that is the border for one of the borders of Texas?
That sounds right. I don't know, though.
Oh, my God. What type of room am I in?
I don't retain any kind of information.
Is this serious right now? Boys, we got to start looking around at ourselves.
You don't know it either.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta start surrounding myself with somebody who knows if the Rio Grande is.
Go get World News Nick.
Hold on, he don't know.
He would know. I bet.
I bet he would know.
What's the over under? We ask him when he comes in here.
Yeah, it's the entire border of. It's the entire western border of Texas is the Rio Grande River, and it's drawn on your map like with all those edges. Like, how to scale is that drawing? Is it really have all those bends in there, or is it like a?
Well, me and the boys, we were horseback for 3 months. We just went along the Rio Grande. Yeah, I lost Rick there at the end, but we ended up bringing back the herd.
What?
A Rio Grande.
Back in the day, dude, shit was ruthless, man. Like those states that all have the straight edge, very peaceful negotiations there. But then whenever you see like a little bit of a jagged edge that isn't a river, some shit went down. There were some families that were refusing to go the other way.
Well, that's like Tennessee, right? Like the edge of Tennessee is like just like the edge of a saw almost. And wasn't that like the hat? No, that wasn't Hatfields and McCoy's.
That's Kentucky. And Hatfields and McCoy's is Kentucky, I believe. Yep. Kentucky and West Virginia, I think.
Meanwhile, over there on the West Coast, they just, like with Colorado, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona, they just say, okay, one line here, one line there.
Yeah. It was very negotiable. Like it was either one guy was making all the decisions or they very much got along with each other.
Here, hold this. I'm going to walk down here. I'm going to just run the pin along the line. It's like a fucking...
How did they originally do it? Do you think they made a trench, like a moat? Or was it just like... how did they do it? Did they mark trees?
I think because no one fought over that land because it's shitty land. You can't do shit on it. You can't grow anything on it. It's like the salt lands. There's desert. It's shitty. So I'm part of, in that little area. So
what a fucking interesting time that had to be in the world.
There's only 40% of the population is 40% of the West Coast is basically empty.
Who?
40% of the West Coast. Like in Arizona, there's 3 cities you go to. There's a lot of small cities, but
so you're saying the desert is vast, huh?
That, but I mean, just
what is that desert called?
Well, like that, that salt.
We
lands.
have no chance.
The Mojave.
Is that it? Is that the Mojave Desert?
Mojave sounds about right.
You grew up there.
Sahara. Wrong country, cuzzo.
Yeah, but it's a big desert area, right? Like New Mexico is just out there in the middle of nowhere.
Ain't much going on out there.
Nevada, New Mexico.
Like 3 cities in these states.
So how do they pick who got the shitty part of the desert?
Well, I think they just probably whoever had to go out there and market was definitely being forced. Like they were like, no, you got to be the guy. Like, I'm not doing that, dude. There's nothing out there. Just fucking start here, drive along.
When the sun rises, we want you to leave your village and start walking due east. And they told somebody else, when the sun rises, leave your village and walk due west. And whenever they just ran into each other, they were like, boom, this is right in the middle. This is where we're drawing the fucking border. Now walk the fuck back home and we'll never see you again. Back there, I bet.
It's that. Meanwhile, on this side of the country, everybody's like, no, we'll take this piece. We want this little guy right here.
Could you imagine if like New York or some wanted like another piece of land off of New Jersey? That'd be fucking, that was like when Russia went into Ukraine. Right? And weren't they thinking about doing it? And then what happened in Spain? Something happened in Spain.
Yeah, with that little island.
They just got their independence, and then they're like, they shouldn't get their independence. And I was like, well, if somebody wants an independence, I think they should get an independence. But then they're like, well, they're not equipped to be independent. And I'm like, well, wait a minute, who's independent? Who isn't? I'm like, 4th of July, let's fucking go.
That full-on coup one going on over there.
They do.
There's some coups going on.
The coup in Zimbabwe, that shit's going down.
Some coup there.
Right? What's going on in Zimbabwe, Foxy?
Zimbabwe military has seized state TV.
Foxy. Are we still going with Foxy, by the way?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Is it catching on anywhere in your life?
On Twitter, people are finding me, but that might just be because you say it every single episode. So I'm going to say it's because I changed it.
Handsome Evan Foxy.
That's going to help me sleep at night, but...
How do you feel about Foxy?
I'm never calling him that. 100%.
It's hard to let your mouth say it, isn't it? So when you're looking at his face, it's hard to let your mouth say Foxy.
It's a woman thing. It's an old school term. Like,
yeah,
she's
Foxy.
Oh, I did have one guy, he sent me a picture on Twitter of like a bag of lettuce, and I think the brand name was Foxy. So he was like, hey, like, nice branding there. And that's the
lettuce?
Only thing. Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You're running with lettuce right now?
I don't know if it was lettuce or...
Most likely
some other green vegetable.
That was probably harvested somewhere in Arizona. Big lettuce harvesters out there. Big lettuce crops.
Out there in the desert?
Out there in Yuma, Arizona. Lot of lettuce.
Anyways.
I don't know. No, there's no Fox.
Foxy is a very, very old school lady description, but it's 2017. You can be any old lady you want to be. You can be a Filipino lady from what I've been learning from Twitter. Ain't that right? That one dude.
Well, yeah, you can be whatever you want.
You can identify as an old foxy woman if you'd like, Evan. This is your world, not ours.
Thank you. I think I'll stick with it.
Foxy.
Yeah, Evan Fox
E.
with a Y. E.
What's your why?
Foxy.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right. Anyway, can we get back to some news? You want to hear the Zimbabwe stuff?
Yes, please.
So Zimbabwe military has seized state
Yes, please,
TV
Foxy.
and
I can't say it. It's hard to say it.
I can't say it.
Foxy, please.
that sounded good. I thought Shaun said that. I was like, ooh.
No, but we were both trying to figure out whether or not we should say yes, Foxy, and we just couldn't.
No.
We couldn't do it.
Okay, start it over again.
All right.
Hit it
Here we
again.
go, for like the fourth time. Zimbabwe military has seized state TV and is targeting people close to President Robert Mugabe for causing economic and social suffering.
Ungatu from Zoolander took over the fucking Zimbabwe.
That's what he did. He ran all up on Mugambe.
Mugatu, you said?
Mugatu.
Mugabe.
Who?
Robert Mugabe.
Foxy.
I might be butchering that.
Yeah, I assume. So, Za, you know my friend Za?
I know your
our
friend.
Za?
Yep.
He's our friend. He's the Zimbabwean midget who works for Barstool Sports.
We love Za.
Za is a hero in these parts of the town. He is literally 100% committed to the team. When I was doing the Barstool Tailgate show with him, we were chit-chatting, and he said, I know you love Jim Kong, who we have an update coming here momentarily, but another asshole dictator who is very terrible is the Zimbabwe dictator. He said, this guy's the worst. He's just a terrible person. This was like 5-6 weeks ago. And then now all of a sudden, bang, it's all popping off. I guess this might be another independence situation. This is like liberty for the people of Zimbabwe. Hopefully, you just got to hope that this falls into the right hands. Yeah. That's kind of the way everything works. It's like people get independence and then the wrong people get in control. And it's just like, bang, we're right back in the fuck cycle.
How big of a balls do you have to assume that you can just, as a dictator, just rise up, take over a country right now in the world?
You got to have big old balls. You got to be able to, or ladies too, because Black Widow, the lady from Cocaine Cowboys, I think she would be able to run a dictatorship right now. She might be doing that right now. Actually, I couldn't find her.
She just might be the spawn of her.
She's running something. But anyways, I think if you have the amount of confidence you need to attempt to take over a country nowadays is the same confidence it took for the guy that started the wave. Right?
Yeah.
Like you got to have a lot of belief that a lot of people are coming with you.
I started a lot of waves in high school, and they all did not always work.
Imagine the first guy to start a wave or girl to start a wave. The amount of confidence that takes to say, listen, guys, I'm going to stand up. I need everybody to stand up with me. And then you guys, he had to walk around the entire stadium to let people know, like, hey, they're going to stand, and then you're going to. The entire stadium needed to be in, and you got to have 100% confidence that when you stand up, everybody else is going to do it. And nowadays, when you start a wave, it's a big confidence situation. You got to hope, just like a slow clap start. You start a slow clap that can turn quickly on you. If you're going to take over a country, your confidence has to be so fucking high that you got a ride or die crew with you. Because what happens if you get up into the state in Zimbabwe, up in Mugambe's mansion, and all of a sudden your boys are actually working for Mugambe? You're dead. It's over.
Yeah, because a lot of people start the wave, and it only makes it like 5 or 6 to 10 sections.
And then you're, oh!
Yeah, and then you got to do it again, and then hope it just keeps. Because if the wave don't go all the way around, then it doesn't necessarily qualify as a successful.
No, it's not a wave. It's just a motion of the ocean.
Yeah.
When it goes around, it becomes a full wave.
Yeah.
You know?
So this guy, he's got a decent little wave started. Mm-hmm. But he's just assuming it's going to go all the way the fuck around.
All the way.
Well, I mean, I got to know, what's the over-under on an actual wave going full fucking balls around the whole stadium?
I've been a part of a lot of crowds, and I think the English are the best at the wave because when we played in England, they got real bored, I think. So because they got to do a lot of things to entertain themselves during soccer. There's a lot of fucking nothing happening. And in boxing, there's a lot of sparring, not a lot of action. So the crowds become entertainment to themselves. And the wave is crucial over there. I would say that their fans are much more active and unified than our fans. But when the Colts went 2-14, I saw some fucking waves in Indianapolis in Lucas Oil Stadium. I saw some waves. I saw some people getting real bored. You ain't seeing waves unless the team It's bad. It's not a good
So you're
situation.
saying the 2-14 season you saw the waves
I saw a few waves. Yeah, I saw like 3-4 waves.
all the way around?
Nope. There's always one section you can tell where like the big money's at.
Yeah.
You know, because they ain't standing. You know,
Listen, if you got big money and listening right now, do us a favor.
be a part, dude.
Just play. Listen, play with the common folk one time a year.
Hey, if you got big money tickets, close your eyes for a second, okay? You're a part of something now. It's not just you. This is a family of people that are in a stadium. Look to your right. Yeah, that's a peer of yours right now. You're all the same. Look to your left now. Oh, who's that? Oh, I came with her. That's my wife. Good for you. Look down below. There's a kid behind you. There's a full family. You're all in this thing together, trying to make that stadium the best environment in the history of sports. That should be your mindset. So whenever that group to the right that you've been screaming the whole time that you're like, these guys, they're so loud, it happens. And when they want to do a wave, you fucking get your ass in that fucking wave.
Stand the fuck up. We don't care what you own or how much money you have.
No, we love it, actually. We're happy
Yes.
you're successful.
Good
Thank
for
you
you.
for coming. Your money, those expensive tickets are probably paying for the stadium right now. So we
Yeah.
very much appreciate that.
But we need this.
Don't fuck it up, rich guy.
We need you to stand up and complete this wave, your whole section. And it's going to start with you. You're the first one.
Oh, if you lead it, are you kidding me? We're talking.
The other people in the section like, is that Thomas?
Wow.
Did Thomas do the wave?
Doc, is that Doc up there?
Doc did it. We got to do it.
Lawyer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Guys, you're a very vital part. There's the fucking strong. The chain's only as strong as the weakest link.
Yeah, the wolf is only as powerful as the weakest of its pack.
Exactly. The such and such is only as powerful as the weakest part of whatever it is you're talking about in all these scenarios.
Yeah, absolutely. Your vape pen is only as good as the button that's pushing it to heat up the vape.
Did you at least charge it? Did you charge it up? Did you give it a chance?
Did you think about that, maybe?
You didn't.
You didn't think about that now that you're mad at your vape pen.
And guess what? Guess who fucking wins with a dead battery for the vape pen?
Nobody.
Nobody.
Not the vape pen.
The vape pen definitely
loses. I'm here to work.
I lose. The pen loses.
Yep.
The cartridge loses. My mind loses.
Get back in the game.
Get
Put
your
the
life
batteries
together.
in your remote.
Let's get some weed money in all these states.
Let's get some waves going.
Let's get a wave of weed money going.
And let's get that Zimbabwean dictator out of there.
Let's go.
What's-
We need to do a hashtag for this guy.
Let's go. That's what the hashtag will be.
Let's-
Anytime you see hashtag let's go, it's only referring to this conversation we're having right now.
100%. And it's also, let's do Let's Went.
Who
Let's Went.
went?
That means we need him out of here. Like, let's get you going.
We need
Let's
him.
Went. That's a kind of a nice thing. Like, that's when you're telling somebody to get out.
Let's went?
How about this? If someone's like, yo, let's go. And you're like, no, how about this? Let's Went. But I'm going to stay, but you go. So you went. How about you go by yourself?
I respect that move. Can we live?
We just want to live. Let us live. You're not letting me live.
Hey, let's go. No. Let's went.
Let's Went. How about that? How about you go? I'm going to stay here.
Hashtag let's went.
And and that also helps to fight a dictatorship taking over right now in Zimbabwe.
Speaking of dictatorship, let's learn about a guy in North Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not know this, but just up until about a month and a half ago, this show was your number one stop for all things North Korea. I broke news about North Korea. I got letters from North Korea. I basically became infatuated with a guy named Jim Kong, and we created an entire segment to him. And it had a very, very expensive intro that went like this.
Time now for the Jim Kong update on the Pat McAfee Show.
Expensive.
I think it was the gong at the end.
That really went over the top.
Because they had to go buy a new one.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Because the original gong cracked in Philadelphia. Do you remember that?
Yep. Yeah. No, I was off the back of the truck. It fell on that during the parade.
Yep. So it was expensive. But I am so happy to bring back in the guy that delivered all of the news, childhood friend of mine, at Nick Moraldo, World News Nick. Let's go.
Hey, it's good to be back. It's good to be here.
Nick, member of Heartland Radio with Sean, Todd, Diggs, and Vibbs, and Wiz Khalifa, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, hockey fan, and also one-stop shop for all things news, I believe.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, you're balls deep in the computer on a very regular basis, just scrolling through the annals of the internet trying to find news stories, I believe.
Well versed in the blogosphere, news sphere.
Wow.
I don't know if that's real or not.
How
but
about
sounds
Reddit? Do you
good.
do the Reddit?
All the time. For better or worse. Yeah.
Everybody wants me to do Reddit. I started getting a lot of tweets on Twitter about doing Reddit on Reddit. I do it's two different ball games, isn't it? It's like a blog versus a tweet. Like, isn't that kind of what Reddit is?
Yeah, that's a good description for it. It's an interesting place to be. I think it's a little more, depending on what community you go into.
What?
It's a little more intelligent than Twitter.
Yeah, because you can also get really
Intelligent? The president tweets dictators on Twitter. What do you mean intelligent?
Yeah, we noticed.
Speaking of Kim Jong-un, let's get to him. World News Dick. I'm going to get on Reddit, by the way, at some point. I'm going to do it.
So North Korea sent a letter to Russia explaining that they are prepared to conduct a nuclear strike against the United States.
Just DM'd it to Putin or what?
They sent Putin a letter that comes after 3 U.S. aircraft carriers teamed up with Japanese ships for a joint naval exercise.
So Putin's on our side, though, isn't he? Isn't Putin like our boy? We're in Syria right now with Putin against ISIS.
Things are on the up with Putin, I think.
Yeah. So did Putin be like? Putin's a real G, though.
That's kind of like walking out of a bar and being like, "Listen, I'm gonna go in there and beat the fuck out of your friend."
Yeah, like a real G, like a real G.
Right back in there and punch him right in his face.
Now, granted, he kind of fucked us earlier in the year, right? Because when the Chinese guy landed in Florida. And we were going to bomb Syria, right? Mm-hmm. Putin told him. Didn't Putin tell him? Like, got to get their planes out of there? Or Russia got out of there or something. Something happened. And then now we're boys, and Kim Jong sends, he doesn't know because he doesn't have the internet. Kim Jong-un, the dictator for North Korea, sends a letter to Russia, not knowing that we have had any interaction with Putin. And he's like, yo, listen, how about you and me? Finally, we go take down that fucking American team, huh? And Putin's like, fuck, you're late, cuz. Good friends with him now. Sorry, don't know how to send this one back to you. Also, we're probably going to release this through WikiLeaks, by the way.
Yeah, also that.
Is the letter out?
No.
Who told you that the letter happened? Putin?
Putin, this is from a North Korean news source, obviously.
They're the best.
And a delegate from Russia. So 2 of the most trustworthy sources on the internet.
Oh, so now we're saying that North Koreans aren't trustworthy? Jeez. Didn't he play? He got an 18 one time, right, in golf?
18 out of... No, it was less than that, wasn't it?
I think he... No, I think
he shot 18 hole-in-ones.
I think he shot 18 hole-in-ones. Yeah, he doesn't play golf anymore.
Yeah.
Well, he retired, obviously, yeah.
He sells meth to the entire country. He's the biggest meth dealer on earth. He's Breaking Bad-est. He's the man over there.
So Trump recently went on his trip to Asia and did a tour of a bunch of Asian countries. He was supposed to visit the DMZ, but he canceled the trip. So there was some bad weather. Couldn't make it.
By the way, canceled a surprise visit, which is hilarious, which means it wasn't in the papers to happen, and you announced that it was canceled. Such a PR move. By the way, I'm canceling my trip to ESPN tomorrow. Yeah. Gonna take a surprise trip up there to old Connecticut.
Head up to Bristol.
Just fucking hop on all their shows. I was gonna do it, but I'm canceling it just for future reference. Hilarious move.
North Korea said it wasn't the weather, as Trump claimed. He was too scared to face the glaring eyes of their troops.
Mike Pence walked in there and literally just stared at their country. Just stared at them. Like full Top Gun in the leather jacket, and not a thing happened. I think it's hilarious that Kim Jong is still trolling this guy.
So, yeah, and then he called Trump old.
Good move.
Trump shot back and said, he would never call me old because I would never call him short and fat.
Never. What a fucking line, by the way, on Twitter. That wouldn't happen on Reddit.
Fired.
That line would not happen on Reddit right there.
Shots fired. That might throw us right into a Cold War.
Fucking Kim Jong might bomb the Sea of Japan tomorrow for that type of thing.
Well, in response, North Korea fired back. They said President Trump deserves the death penalty. The worst crime for which he can never be pardoned is that he dared to malignantly hurt the dignity of the supreme leadership.
You talk shit on the supreme leader? Death penalty. That seems like quite a rule. I kind of like that. I think we should put that here in the office. You talk shit on me? Death penalty. Not a problem. Go over there by the green screen and just get your head chopped off. That's kind of what Kim Jong does?
Yeah. Basically,
What a move,
aircraft
bro.
carrier guns, firing squad, dogs, whatever, you name it.
Bro.
How about the guy that has to listen to all his crazy shit and then run off and tell somebody that's considered a news source?
He's the guy who has to relay the message. Like,
Yeah.
don't shoot them, don't kill the messenger, is his everyday quote. Like, listen, I know this is going to sound crazy.
He
but
just rolls with his papers like this.
listen to this shit.
You're not going to believe this. This motherfucker says that he wants you to go tell Russia, tell Putin, okay, that if Trump keeps up his shit and the U.S. keeps up their shit, I'm going to nuke them motherfuckers.
He wants me to say that verbatim?
He said, "This is what I'm telling you. Don't kill the messenger here."
Yeah.
I can't. It doesn't.
Were
pay
you
back.
there when he said it? Is this exactly?
I was writing it as he told me to say it.
Wow. Is this going to get much
This
worse?
is exactly what he wants to be said.
Last week he said that if anybody talks bad about him, he's going to murder them. Just cut their faces off.
Done.
How did you let that one get by? Like, you're the guy that has to really bounce messages off of you.
I brought it to the news source. They chose not to run with it.
But don't you think you should at some point say, like, hey, Supreme Leader, listen, maybe this is a step too far. Do you ever say that?
No, because it's death penalty if I tell him that.
You're right.
I'll die.
All right, I'll go run this message up.
Please run it to him so I can stay alive to run you more messages. Because if I don't run you messages, I'll die.
That's the conversation that really happens.
The irony here is that I go through this similar situation with Pat. When someone asks a stupid question, I have to go ask Pat. I'm like, hey, man, this is what's going on here. How do you feel about this?
This is a real conversation that happens with Nick often.
And he'll give me an answer. And then I have to determine if I need to give that answer verbatim or soften it up and make it acceptable, like a professional response. I'm like, I don't know if I can say that.
Tell that guy then, I don't give a fuck if he doesn't want to come in here. Do you want me to say it to him? Yeah, tell him that. And Nick, then you really do have to have that moment.
Yeah.
That's so funny to think about. I didn't even think about putting you in that situation where Nick will get an email and be like, this guy would like to know if he could do bing, bing, bing in your office, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, that schedule, there's no way that can happen. That's like an absolute horseshit request. What do you want me to say to them then? Tell them that request is an absolute horseshit request and there's no way that's feasible. How do you want me to, you want me to say that to him? Yeah, say that.
Excuse me, sir. This request has been deemed absolute horseshit. Have a good day.
I feel bad I put you in that situation. Granted,
That's all right.
A lot different than Jim Kong's situations, but definitely still hilarious. Because, man, I didn't even think about that. Because I just think about how hilarious it would be for the other person to open that response, right? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, Pat decided that this was horseshit. But if you would like to work it out, we can do that. I get some fucking terrible requests. This one I'm thinking. You come to my daughter's 13th birthday party, maybe spend 2-3 hours, do some balloon animals, maybe sing to the kids. And I will, listen to this, I will donate $200 to the Pat McAfee Foundation. $200.
Whoa.
Yep. You want to help out soldiers? You want to help out I will donate. I'm willing to donate if you just come spend one little Sunday afternoon for my daughter's birthday party.
Well, you don't like kids? You don't like the troops?
That's how it goes. That's how it gets flipped right there.
Oh, you're too good for my kids.
Yeah, exactly. And I respond with normally, and even through Nick or through anybody else that sends it, I go, tell them I'll donate $200 not to do that. And that's my move, and I really do it. I actually do it. By the way, Pat McAfee Foundation, .org, the PatMcAfeeFoundation.org, I believe. We're going into our 5th year or 6th year, giving scholarships to children in military families. I think we're up over like $300,000 in scholarships in 5 years. We have a good time with it too. We party pretty hard for that foundation, but it takes care of the right people, the future of military families. It's cool. It's really cool. They do an essay contest. It's a comfort scholarship too. A lot of people say they'll get in for it's a comfort scholarship. So it's like clothes, food, so that the said soldier, either the mother or father, doesn't have to pay for them to do anything else around campus. Or if their grandpa was in service, something like that. And they write an essay about how they appreciate or they explain what their relative did. It's a really cool thing. I've been very happy to be a part of it. Just something to think about. And I will donate the money if you have a horseshit request. All right, listen. $57 I'll donate to the children of military families. You? Come have sex with my wife in front of me.
Have some scruples. You got no scruples, kid.
You don't want to fuck my wife? No.
I can't fucking believe this guy don't want to fuck my wife. I said I'm going to donate $57.
Bro, when I got accosted in that cruise by that couple, I've never felt more awkward in my life. My husband wants to know if maybe I get to I give you a blowjob while he watches. I'm like, This is a cruise. Like, I'm not getting off here if he hates me. Like, there's only one exit. We're in this thing together for the rest of the fucking.
How far did the stipulations go?
It was pretty far. I was like, because I'm in.
Do you have to keep eye contact with him the whole time?
Nope. I'm an inquisitive person, so I enjoy these conversations. I understand that these situations will make great stories later for my friends. This was before I was even into comedy. So I was excited because these things happen to me. They don't happen to a lot of people. So I'm like, I got to be able to share this. So I want to get all the information I could. And I was like, I did ask. I was like, so we'd be on the bed and he'd just be like in the office chair there? Because cruise things are small. They're like, no, we got the captain's suite. I'm like, oh, top of the boat. Okay. Little Rose situation. I'm the Jack coming up there. You know what I mean? Little paint a picture, baby. You know what I'm talking about? Let's get going. And they were like, she was like, yeah, that's basically what it is. I was like, would he get involved? And if so, like, what happens here? And it depends on how he feels. It'd be a very relaxing atmosphere or whatever. I was like, I think I'm out.
Oh, so you mean your husband might run a train on you also?
So your husband might maybe touch my dick at some point. I think I'm out.
I'm definitely not DPing. There's no DPing.
My dick is not touching your husband's dick. Can you get that in writing?
I don't want my balls touching any other nutsack either.
Nope. There's no balls to ball action here on your mouth or your vagina, lady.
That's it.
And by the way, I'm out. That was it. It was like Shark Tank.
That's hilarious.
Any other big things happening out in North Korea?
No, that's it for North Korea, thankfully.
Well, Nick, I appreciate you, buddy.
I have a question for Nick real quick.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, Nick, it's a trivia question. What river borders Texas?
The entire west coast of Texas is what river?
Is this his thing, though? Is this what he does?
No.
Trivia questions?
No, what happened earlier in the show is I realized I surrounded myself with fucking idiots.
Yeah. And we said we think Nick will get this right.
Oh, man. Geography's been a while. River on the west side of Texas?
The entire west.
The Rio Grande?
Oh, this
Let's go,
motherfucker.
cuz.
Ding, 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 ding.
That's Plum High School.
Well
though.
done.
By the way, I knew this.
Yeah, I mean, Texas, Rio Grande.
I didn't know it 100% though. I was very 40% in, but I had to search it to get the answer. The other three were just like river.
That was about 79%, sure.
79?
79%.
I like a good 79 though. I
Big
enjoy
at
a good 79%. Guys, Thanksgiving is coming up. And there's nothing more important than making a good first impression or maybe an impression after you've been gone for a little bit. The holidays are a time for everybody to come back together and judge the fuck out of everybody in their family. Oh, look at old buddy over there. Freshman 80, huh? Call of Duty's really getting to his stomach. Oh, look at her. Oh, she's pregnant. We knew it. We all knew it. That type of situation. Or maybe you're going to your new girlfriend's place or your fiance's place, and the in-laws, they're the most judgy people in the history because you're either taking their little baby or they're thinking, good luck with this daughter we created. Either the case, they're judging you. In the one show or the one commercial, the guy parallel parks right, and the in-laws say, oh, he's a keeper. So just because he can parallel park, he gets to have sex with your daughter? That's an interesting situation. What I want to say to you is the best way to make a good impression, whether it's your family, your friends, her family, her friends, is to look great. Look great. Now is the time to really impress the hell out of some people. And with the company Hims, it is all possible. You get fuller hair, better skin. You even last longer in the sack. Are you kidding me, Nick?
Need that.
Need that.
Who doesn't?
Now listen, the family doesn't need to know that you are lasting longer in the sack, but they do need to know that your skin's great and your hair is beautiful. How's it going? Maybe you're thinking, is my hair thinning? Is it time for me to maybe make a decision here? It happens to us, guys. It's nature. Nature versus nurture, Lodge. Nature always wins. Is there hair in your shower? Is there a little bit on the ground? You're like, oh, this is natural. It happens. It does happen. You're 100% right. But you are also definitely losing your hair. Is it maybe reacting differently than you have in the past? You're like, oh, it never used to do this. Or maybe it's getting a little lighter. There is a product at Hims that'll make your hair full and beautiful and have bounce to the ounce and make it look like you're going to be a handsome adult for a long, long time. When you're getting judged, know that they're judging a son of a bitch with good looking hair. Hims, the wellness brand for the modern man, a one-stop shop for hair loss, skincare, sexual wellness, and more. Hims makes men's personal care trusted, easy, and affordable. T-E-T-N-E. T-N-E.
T&E?
T-N-E. T-N-E. T-N-A.
T-N-E.
T-N-E-N-A. T-E-N-A. Trusted, easy, and affordable. Trusted. Hims offers FDA-approved medical-grade products, personalized recommendations, plus convenient, confidential online consultation with a licensed doctor. You don't go anywhere. One-stop shop. Let's get a licensed consultation. Let's have a conversation about what's going on with my hair, and let's fix it.
Amen.
Doesn't that feel good?
Man, that's a one-stop
Shop. That's just for your hair.
Just get your game together.
It's trusted. It's easy. With Hims, no waiting room, no uncomfortable time with the nurse, no pharmacy lines. Products are shipped directly to your door. How's it going, future you? Here's a gift from previous me telling you to look better tomorrow. Get your hair better, your skin better, and your dick better.
And your game tighter.
What?
Tight game.
That's what it is, and it's affordable. Hims passes big savings along to you, offering prescription and generic products at fraction of the price. Sound treatment and prevention backed by medicine and science. Look better, feel better, do better with Hims. Get a trial month of everything you need to keep your hair up to a $67 value for just $5 today while supplies last. My listeners get started today for just $5. See website for full details, but for $5, you will be able to get started and utilize a $67 product that makes you look better, feel better, and do better. Do your future self a favor and try Hims today. Go to forhims.com/Pat. That's forhims.com/Pat. forhims.com/Pat. Taking care of you, making you look better. This conversation that's about to happen, you're about to hear, is something you're going to love. This conversation with my dad. I've told a lot of stories about old Tim McAfee. One time in college, he asked me if I wanted him to bring his bow and arrow down to chase a lion that escaped from a circus one weekend in Morgantown, West Virginia. True story. One time when I was a kid, that same bow and arrow, he ran down a speeding vehicle and tried to stop him from speeding in the neighborhood.
With the bow and arrow?
With the bow and arrow.
Like he was going to shoot out the tire?
Like the worst hand-to-hand combat weapon in history, he was using in an attempt to start hand-to-hand combat with a speeder in the neighborhood. Talking about a guy who's just an absolute legend. He was my only call when I had a call from prison. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a conversation with my father, Tim McAfee. I've been getting into cardio, and my knees say that I can't run on the streets, and the weather is saying I can't as well. Ain't that right, Shaun?
Yep.
What happened to
I was
fall?
there. I was there. Fall got cucked.
By?
Summer, winter told fall to go fuck itself.
Yep, directly.
Yeah.
It is cold as hell. It is wet as hell in Indianapolis. I need to do cardio, and my dad had like a spinning bike, you know, because we don't have Soul Cycle here in Indianapolis to get in shape or to fuck our girlfriends like what happens in New York and bigger cities. So my dad offered up.
Can we come back to that later? Because I'm interested to know what that means.
Hey, there he is. Dave Portnoy's J Ham. It was a girl he was talking to, was having sex with her Soul Cycle instructor right in front of his face, and we almost went to war with Soul Cycle. Barstool almost went to war with Soul Cycle. They were calling it Cuck Cycle, selling shirts. Cuck Cycle shirts were on sale for like a week. It was really happening. Anyways, spinning is an incredible exercise, good for your knees. And I only know that because my father was like an Iron Man back in the day. He used to run, swim, and bike. And my dad said, I got a stationary bike you could use. You just got to help me carry it down to the office. I bring it down to the office with him on Sunday before I watch football games. I get on it Monday night, break the fucking pedal off. I got two nuts, not one, Lance. These bikes can't handle me.
One session you had. All you had to do, it was one session.
It was 10 minutes in, too. I was really catching a groove. I was enjoying it. Here we go. But my father, truck driver at one point in his life, then a woodsman, then a cabinet guy, then now he sells finishing for cabinets in his own company, living the American dream. Super handyman. I had too much of ADD, though, growing up to sit through the handyman classes. You know, like when your dad goes out there and you're like changing the tire and shit like that? Like my dad is very good at all that stuff. Not for me, though. And I think you would agree with that?
Yeah, you wouldn't sit long enough to learn how to do a thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim McAfee. Here we go. This is my dad. I was once in his nutsack. Now, Dad, I got AAA, and your first response to me was what?
Only pussies have AAA.
I literally, like, I got triple my whole life. My dad and I used to just drive around. We would drive around for soccer. We were all over the place. And anytime you saw a AAA sticker on the back of the car, my dad would be like, "Oh, it's a terrible fucking driver that can't do anything." And then I got AAA as soon as I became adult, and I just got like a text message with 5 letters on it. Pussy. That's all I get. My dad came in here to fix the bike, though, and he did. He put a little, what was it?
Little Loctite on the screw and put the screw back in.
He brought a hammer in for a screw job, which I don't even understand how you do it, but I love the way that you made it happen. And I thought it was a good time to chat with you. On Tuesday's show, I told a story about draft day, which was one of the coolest moments of our family, I think.
It was an up and down day.
What a fucking emotional roller coaster.
Definitely.
There was the thought that there was a thought I was going to be flipping sandwiches for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, I mean, you had experience, so.
I did work at a Rudy Subs and Pizza, 286. How can I help you? Thank you very much. That was really my only true work.
Is that the one you got fired from?
Yes. 2 weeks.
What'd you get fired for?
I was sending work. Listen, there was numerous Rudy Subs in the vicinity. And at lunch, I was working with a deaf guy. True?
True.
Greg is his name. He was a deaf guy. He was a gentleman. He taught me shit happens, which is just pulling your thumb out of your other hand and then turning your fingers upside down. Because shit happened all the time when I was working there. Like, we would just get too many people, too many orders. I had to run the front counter and the phone and restock things because deaf Greg could only work the griddle.
Yeah.
The griddle.
Yeah,
the griddle.
not the phone.
He couldn't work the phone, Sean. He worked the griddle. He was an incredible sandwich maker, though.
Yes.
The guy, his dad owned the place. He'd worked there his entire life. Super cool guy, super nice guy. First deaf guy I ever talked to. True story, though. Like, he'd bring out a piece of paper and we'd like write to each other. Like that. We had like a real good relationship. Still do. Every time I go back to Pittsburgh, he like does a big wave. We have a full written conversation. It's like really cool. But I had to handle a lot, and I was young, and this is my first time in the work world. And the same owner owned multiple Rudy Subs. So at the lunch hour, 95% of the people would order one sandwich and one sandwich only. It was the Italian sub. Hi, can I get the Italian sub? You got it. Whole or hot, or cold or hot, whole or half, blah, 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 that whole thing, right? When you get like 75 orders, though, and there's one deaf guy working a griddle, and this is 1 hour of lunchtime, like it becomes a time where we all need to relax a little bit. So I was sending people down the street to the next Rudy's. We're out of Italian subs. Go to this Italian subs, though. Same owner. They're still getting their money. They got all the Italians. Obviously, the owner caught wind of this. The wife of the owner caught wind of this, called in, ordered an Italian sub. I go, we're out. She goes, I just stocked the fridge this morning. I go, where? She goes, right where it always is. I go, oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, I see all of the meat, right? I see all of the meats. And she goes, we need to talk. I was like, I get it. I know what's happening. I still frequent that sub place.
Some lazy shit.
Oh, lazy.
I love it.
Genius, I thought. Listen, we were at our capacity, okay? Me and Deaf Greg could only handle so much fucking meat at the time.
And that place rocked at lunchtime.
Rocked.
It was the place everybody went.
It was this tiny little place. I still eat there every time I go home. Mr. S, rest in peace. He's really the only reason that Plum football, which is my high school, really goes. He was the voice of the Mustangs. But they got a shrine of me up on the wall. I absolutely love that place. But I got fired. Yeah, that's my first real life work experience. But
great iced tea there.
Great iced tea.
The little jugs.
Turner's iced tea.
Turner's iced tea, yeah.
You like Turner's iced tea?
I hate it.
Why?
It's too sweet.
Too soft. Too soft, he just said. It's not tough enough.
It's not tough enough.
Draft day was really cool, though. And for me, so I grew up watching you throw remotes at the TV.
Yeah, definitely.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
Diehard NFL fan.
Oh, yeah.
Who's your favorite Steeler of all time?
Terry Bradshaw, probably.
It's your guy, huh?
Yeah.
You watch him on Fox right now?
No, I don't watch TV anymore, remember?
Oh, yeah, he really doesn't.
I don't watch football anymore.
My dad doesn't watch football. He doesn't watch TV. He doesn't do shit. He's sick of it. He said, listen, I work all fucking week. The weekend's supposed to be my escape. I turn on my escape, which is football, and then it's just the fucking same shit from the week. I'm out, right?
Yep, exactly.
And the NFL thinks that, like, a lot of people in the media world are saying, like, the politics getting into football and all that shit are not affecting the numbers. My dad grew up in the city of Pittsburgh, and he was a diehard Steelers fan. And he's literally in my household And this last Sunday was the first time he watched any football. He said, I don't need any more shit in my life. I just want to watch people play football. That's right, you said, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
And I don't think people understand that. I think that happens a lot more than people are thinking. The bottom line of the NFL is definitely get affected by red-blooded Americans, hardworking Americans whose Sunday's their escape.
Well, it used to be Sundays, Mondays, Thursdays. I wouldn't miss a game. I'd watch as many games as possible.
And it was miserable mostly when you watched those.
Only the Steelers.
He loved the Pittsburgh Steelers. Loved. I mean, I remember watching just a little bit of football with my dad. It was always a Steelers game. And boy, Cordell Stewart put you almost into a cardiac arrest a few times. How do you feel about Slash?
What does he do now? Anything?
He was on TV a little bit. I don't know about that. But when Cordell Stewart was the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, my dad damn near died every fucking weekend.
Yeah, he wasn't that great. No.
He was good.
He was okay.
Well, a lot of those running quarterbacks, I mean, they only have few years where they can do some work, and then you're just getting banged up more.
Exactly.
I witnessed remotes bouncing off of those old school TVs at a very frequent rate, a much higher rate when Cordell Stewart was the quarterback than any other quarterback in the
Yeah. Can't do that now with those wimpy TVs, though. They'll break.
I know, my fucking phone broke too.
Yeah.
It's not good. When I got drafted to the Indianapolis Colts, a little piece of you died?
No, not at all.
Well, I mean, you were one of the biggest Steelers fans I've ever seen in my entire
Well, I
life.
still was a Steeler fan. You just didn't know it.
So whenever, was it a difficult, was it difficult though? Like at any time, or was it very simple for you just to kind of cheer for both?
It wasn't hard to cheer for both, but it was hard whenever they'd play each other, but not really because blood's thicker than water and the Steelers went downhill, you know?
Yeah, and the Steelers could have drafted me.
Yeah, they could have. They were going to, actually.
Yeah, they were going to draft me after the Colts. That's why the Colts traded with the Eagles, because the Steelers were going to draft me. A lot of people don't know that. The Colts traded up because the Steelers had like 2 picks after that. They were going to pick me up, local kid.
You know what I always said, too? If they had, you'd be dead right now.
Yeah, bro, if I had to play in hometown.
Oh, man. All his buddies there, always going out. There would have been more than one swimming experience.
Allegedly, Dad. Get the fucking family line right.
Alleged experience.
Did you enjoy my experience in the NFL? Like, did you enjoy as a parent with your kid in the NFL?
Yeah, it was kind of eye-opening to see the back end of everything.
Like the business side of
The
it.
business side of it, exactly.
Gregson.
Who?
He's really doing a bang-up job over there in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that was when I really started to hate playing in the NFL.
Well, how long was he there? Well, you were there 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
He walked past me and your mother for 5 years, never looked at us, never said hello. He knew who we were. I even tried one time, hey, man, and just kept on walking. He was the most ignorant.
Prick.
Not a nice guy.
He was just a prick.
Not a nice guy.
Who was the coolest guy you met through my NFL experience?
Coolest guy? Most famous guy, probably Peyton.
How about Peyton's dad?
Archie was cool.
My dad got drunk with Archie Manning.
Yeah, I did. So we kind of hung out.
So my dad got a whole fresh. We were going to hang out at Peyton Manning's. You were at like a fucking highway hotel. Do you remember this? You were staying
Yes.
on that motel, like
Yes.
right off the highway.
Right off of 65.
Because they didn't stay in my house because they thought it was intruding. Now, I bought a house. You're not supposed to buy a house when you're young. I bought one. I bet on myself. Here we go. I got drunk and bought a house. Like, it was a pretty nice house, too. That was a nice house over there in Brownsburg.
Beautiful.
You cried the first time you walked in there.
Yeah.
That was a cool moment. When
Yeah.
my dad walked in and saw your house, he was like, okay. And he cried. He had no idea that I was hammered drunk when I bought it. And everybody told me I was not supposed to buy a house. Like, everybody's like, when you're young, don't buy a house. Wait for your second contract, buy a house. You don't know what's going to happen. I'm like, what could possibly happen? Woo, woo, woo. A jail could happen. Jail could happen. But you were staying in a motel, hotel.
Yep.
And I walk over. And I'm like, hey, Peyton wants us to go down to his condo or whatever. And you're like, Peyton? Like, you're real excited at this moment.
Yeah, I was.
And you were like, oh, I wonder what type of beer he's going to have there.
Yeah, I love beer.
My dad loves beer. I got to play soccer in Germany.
Yeah.
And that was when you really got in with the beer, right?
Yep, exactly.
You went over to Germany. He was drinking all these beers in Germany, watching me play soccer. And he came back and he thought he was this big fucking high society beer snob.
Well, I really didn't drink until then. when I was in high school, of course, you screw around and drink a little bit.
Yeah.
College a little bit. Got married, had kids, and I quit drinking because I didn't want to have the stuff around the house. Didn't want to be a bad influence on you guys. And then we went to Germany.
And then you just started getting slaughtered. He started getting slaughtered in every little village over there.
Give me one of those dark beers.
That's like beer. That's beer headquarters for the earth. Basically.
Germany beer is incredible, by the way.
I took German in high school. And the first bar we went to, I walk up and I said, Ein Schwarzbier bitte. And the guy goes to his other, he's telling all the people at the thing, he wants a black beer. The guy's from America. Let's put fruit in his beer. And then I told him in German, ich verstehe Sie, which meant I understand what you're saying. Take the fruit out of my beer.
Wow. Hey, listen, you ex-Nazis. I can understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I love that.
So then I just got hooked on the darker beers, and I love the darker beers.
And you came back to America, became a beer snob with your wife.
Yep. We both love dark beers.
So he gets all excited for this party at Peyton's. Right?
Oh, yeah.
This was after he's like, I can't wait to see what type of beer Peyton Manning has at his place. Like, Peyton's going to have the most elaborate beer setup in history. I'm like, Dad, you need to relax. I think you're just going to, I can't wait to get down there. We get in an elevator to go up to his condo.
Through the back alley.
Through a back alley.
Yeah.
We go up this elevator. Elevator opens, and Peyton and Archie are waiting on us
Yep.
at the thing, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I sent a text to Peyton. I'm like, hey, my parents are coming. Is that cool? He's like, I can't wait to see who created you. So my mom and dad, the door opens, and Archie's like, oh, McAfee, thanks for coming. His mouth is red from all the red wine he'd been drinking. Peyton goes like, Mr. McAfee, it's an honor to meet you. I don't know how you fucking built this thing. And my dad's like, I know. What type of beer you got? And Peyton goes, Budweiser, Bud Light. And my dad goes, fuck.
Bud Light.
It was like his entire beer dreams were just shattered right in front of his face. But you just saddled up next to Archie that whole night.
Yeah. Just sat there watching Eli play.
Yeah, and he's talked about how Joe Buck hates Eli.
Yeah. But Joe Buck really hates Eli. I don't know what the hell he did to him, but he hates Eli. I don't know why.
Did you feel like when he was watching Eli is how you feel watching me?
Yeah, we actually discussed that when we were sitting there. I said, it's really hard, Archie, when it's your son playing and you're watching on TV and these people say all this stuff about it. He goes, yeah, I know, Tim. And he goes, and that Joe Buck. He really doesn't like Joe Buck.
Well, Joe Buck is a Cowboys representative, basically.
Yeah.
And the Giants Cowboys are a gigantic thing, so it makes a lot of sense.
And then he was telling me stories about when he played against the Steelers and how Lambert was chasing him around the field, telling me he's going to break his fucking neck. And it was it was a fantastic experience.
So you loved it, like as a football creature, which is what you were.
Right.
You hearing stories about the team that you loved.
Yep.
Lambert, Terry Bradshaw.
Yep.
Against the
Joe Green, all those guys.
Against Archie Manning's Saints. You loved hearing that shit.
Yeah, exactly. But it was different because, a lot of people get like starstruck when they meet people like that. We were kind of like in this, not the same thing, but
nowhere near it, just for future reference.
But the same kind of position.
Yep.
Our kids are playing.
Yep.
So we were just sitting there talking like just two old dudes just sitting there watching their kids play.
And you guys got real intoxicated.
I think we did.
Yeah. Do you remember when Peyton's dog just shit right in the middle?
In front of me. He got a new puppy, and the thing walked up in the middle of the rug. And I mean, it had to have been like a $20,000 Persian rug, and
block that shit.
Shit's right in the middle of it.
This is a $20,000
alpaca. You block that. You don't. You block that shit.
It shits right in front of you.
Yeah, and then I don't know if he was a butler or he was.
No, I think he's Peyton's assistant.
Whatever he was, he's mind cleaning that shit up. And then Archie goes, "What's his wife's name?"
Oh,
Ashley. Ashley, come over here and clean that up.
Yeah, that's Peyton's wife.
It's
Ashley.
your dog.
It was just like the most very low key, just basic human night.
Yeah.
At Peyton Manning's
Just
place.
normal.
Yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Drinking Bud Light. We got puppies shitting on floors. Now, granted, those floors are a lot more expensive than our floors.
Oh, yeah.
And then we got people pawning off the shit cleaning up job. You heard a story about the team you loved growing up. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just a cool night. It was a really
awesome.
cool night.
Yeah.
Have you ever been super disappointed in your son?
Which one?
Jason. No, me. The night I got arrested.
Disappointed, yeah.
Why'd you hang up on me when I was in jail?
I didn't.
You did.
I did not.
You did.
I didn't.
I asked you a question and there was no response. What actually happened there?
That was the lovely county jail, I guess it was. Here.
Yeah.
Yep. You're talking to you, they're saying this, that, and the other thing. And okay.
By the way, you have one of the most legendary lines in the history of my life. When I call my dad from jail, I go, Dad, I fucked up. He goes, we know.
We know. Your mother saw it on TMZ.
That's a real conversation. Like, I've just been in solitary confinement, and I get one phone call. Like, you always hear about it. You always hear about your first phone call from jail. You just never expect you're ever going to have to make it.
You have a call from the, what was it?
Marion County Jail.
Marion County Jail. From... And then I think your name came up.
I don't think I said my name. I think I said fuck. Like, I think that because they say, please say your name.
Say your name. Yeah.
And I think I just said fuck. Like, I just wanted him to know that I knew immediately. Like, not my name. Like, I want you to know that I know that this is not a good situation.
Dad, I fucked up.
First words out of my mouth.
Yeah, we know.
We know.
We
Yeah.
know.
And then we're talking for like, you were like
20 seconds, 30 seconds.
Yeah,
maybe?
I think you were like, are you all right? I think.
Yeah,
you
I think. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm in solitary confinement because
Click.
It just But when I was in high school, my dad said, and this is true, I never really had a curfew. I never really had a curfew or anything like that. I could do whatever the fuck I wanted, but I am definitely going to school the next morning. I don't think I had more than 3 misses of school.
No, you enjoyed school.
I enjoyed it. It was like social. He was like, you can go do whatever the fuck you want, but you are going to school the next morning. So on a Tuesday, if you want to go have a great time, that's fine. But on Wednesday, you're going to school the next morning, right? That's just how it was. And old dictator Sally McAfee was in my fucking room. Soon as her alarm clock went off to wake me up, wake up, you got school. And then she would go back to bed. And I'm like, fuck, I really got to do this. And it was always those things. He was like, and if you ever end up in jail, I'm leaving your ass in there. And I was like, awesome. So here I am as an adult, 22, my first time in jail. I call him, and he hangs up on me after I tell him I'm in solitary confinement. I'm like, this motherfucker kept his word. And then you said, though, they cut in and they asked if
I didn't get the opportunity to hang up because they came on and said, if you would like to continue this phone call, please give us your credit card for another blah, 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 blah. It'll be $23 and da-da-da-da-da. And then I'm just giving him the credit card number. Meanwhile, he's gone, you know?
Yeah, because they hung up on me.
Yeah.
So they took me back to fucking
So they
myself.
took my fucking money, $23 for a 30-second phone call.
I didn't know that.
What a racket.
It is a racket, yeah.
It's a hustle.
It is.
Bill Polian took 40 grand from me for that night.
Yeah, I know.
My dad drove out to Indianapolis, though, after I got arrested.
Yeah, because
Like-
I was getting frustrated sitting there. I'm like, man, he thought I hung up on him. And
I did.
I know. And then your mother's like, well, I said, I'm going. I just got up and left and started driving out there. And all the way out there, I hear on the radio.
Every single
radio station.
Bro.
Then the closer to Indianapolis, you know, every news break. Yeah, Pat McAfee was arrested.
Yeah, it never stopped. That's a humbling moment.
Yeah.
I will say I was living pretty wild, and I might, in some circles, been considered a douchebag because, boy, I was going to have a good time no matter what you thought, no matter where it was. And then when you become the butt of jokes everywhere, that's quite a humbling moment. Quite a humbling moment.
Yeah.
And then I get home. I don't have a phone. I go on Facebook to message my mom, right? Because my dad hung up on me. So fuck him. I'm going to play both sides.
Where was your phone?
Well, Dad, it was broken. Do you have any other fucking questions, Dad?
No, it's just the one.
Okay. So I sent my mom a message. I'm like, I'm so sorry. You know, like, because my mom has to go to the grocery store and shit. And the sign that they put up in my hometown was like, home of Pat McAfee, like a week before I got arrested.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Glad they got that in because it might not have went up after.
I almost don't want it up, by the way. Now, I don't want to be associated with that place at this point.
But on the news that night, the local TV station actually had some woman reporter standing in front of that sign to report the news.
Where, in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, yeah.
My mom wouldn't even tell me that to make me feel even worse.
She's like, you wouldn't believe what happened. I was on the news and she was standing in front of that sign.
Fucking WTAE is out here standing next to our goddamn sign.
Which is literally less than a quarter mile from our house.
Yep, it's right around the corner from our house. Yeah. It was unbelievable. So I sent my mom a message like, I'm so sorry. You know, this is not good. I know you saw it on TMZ. Dad told me in our quick conversation. And she goes, no problem. And then my door literally, like a knock on my door happens right after I send a message to my mom. And I look out and it's him. I'm like, fuck that guy. I'm not letting him in. I was in solitary confinement in jail. This motherfucker hung up on me. Like, I don't need your shit right now. And I opened the door and I actually think I said, what?
No, you said, what are you doing here?
Yeah, there it is. I didn't want to talk to anybody, bro. I did not want to talk to anybody. And he was like, I didn't hang up on you. They asked for more money, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
And then we just sat down on my couch and it was like,
Never did get that fucking money back.
No, they're never going to get it either. That's property of Marion County now. I got a pair of jeans in it.
For that $23. Yeah.
I got some murderer's jeans, FUBU jeans. For us, buy us some African American murderers in jail with no jeans. He has no idea. If his case ever gets like reopened and he's innocent, he's walking out of there pantsless. He's got no idea.
They just give you a random pair of FUBU?
Yeah. So they asked me what my
sweatshirt too, right?
Yeah, t-shirt. It was a gray t-shirt. So I went in there shirtless and drenched, right? Because I sweat. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was hot.
Because I sweat that.
Yeah, it was hot out that day.
Yeah, it was. Of course
super
it was.
hot.
And it rained too. People forget about that. It was a month and a half drought, but that night it rained right where I was. So I get in there, and the guards are the coolest people. Like, you were a prison guard. The guards are the coolest fucking people because they have to deal with me. They're literally forced to deal with me. So
They're just dealing with drunk dummies most of the time.
Yep. So they're just dealing with me, and I'm real cold at this point because I'm starting to really sober up, and I'm shirtless in this jail. And they're like, do you want some clothes? I'm like, yeah. They're like, what size your waist? I'm like, 38. And they're like, I don't know if we got a 38. I'm like, what size shirt? I'm like, extra large. They're like, we got to dig in. And I'm like, dig in where? And then they pop up with these fucking FUBU dragon pants, which were absolutely fantastic. And this gray extra large just looks like a miserable t-shirt. They're like, here you go. We'll bag up your other stuff. I'm like, thank you so much. That's so nice to you. And then when I went to leave, I was going to take them off. And they're like, keep it. These guys don't need this stuff. And I'm like,
They're not coming back.
oh, good. I got a murderer's pants on. I got a gift. That was $23. All right, Dad. I appreciate you for fixing my bike that I broke because I'm too powerful. I appreciate you for fornicating with Sally McAfee and creating me. I appreciate you for being the greatest dad on earth. And I thank you for stopping in here today.
Hey, no problem. Anytime.
How would you grade yourself as a father?
No.
You sent me a text one time that was like, my job was to make sure you understood the world and have a good heart.
Yes.
That's what you thought your job was as a dad.
Yeah. To be good to other people.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
You said, now I'm here for any advice you need, is basically what he said to me. When I became an adult and I had like it was like some fuck up. I don't know what I did. I was like, I keep fucking up. You're like, my job as your father was to make sure you had a good heart, you were good to other people, and you worked hard. He said, now if you need any advice, you can call me. I'm like, that's a good way to look at it, I feel like.
Yeah.
Now you've turned into a consultant.
Yeah. Who, him?
Yeah.
Yeah, now do I got to fucking get office times for you, Dad, if I need some advice? No, I'm joking.
Definitely.
Now, McAfee Distribution, you're
Yes.
doing finishing of wood products.
Yep.
American Dream, you own your own company now.
Yeah.
Do you hate it?
I don't hate it. It's different. Because whenever you're an employee, you don't have that stress of, man, I got to make everything work or else it's not going to happen.
Your entire life you've been an employee.
Yes, exactly.
Some of the shittiest jobs on earth.
Yeah, pretty much. Never made any money. Still not making any money.
By the way, that was a real moment. That was a real moment with my dad. Whenever, I don't know who you got hooked up with, but you started going through like all your financials of your entire life and like how much you were getting paid at each job and how much they were probably making off you.
Yeah.
And you were just like, these motherfuckers, for like 20 years, I've just been getting hustled and scammed. I'm like, well, at least you recognize that.
But they gave me a lot of opportunity to make time to be with you. So
True.
Because they didn't want to lose me. When I was working for them, they're like, well, whatever you need, just as long as you get your work done. So I would get up super early in the morning and go to work and then be at the high school for coaching, soccer and things like that. And then
Always my coach. Number one fan, this guy. Never missed a game of anything I did, really.
well, until you got to the NFL.
Yeah, well, some of that shit's just outrageous.
The first year, we made every game except one.
But there's no time for us to even talk to each other except for 45 minutes after the game.
Yeah,
That was
it was a waste of time.
Everybody thinks there's so much free time at these away games. They're like, oh, do guys have sex with groupies and like party the night before? Like, no, I got like 6 fucking meetings that are completely pointless.
Yeah.
And then I got a bed check by some adult comes and checks on. Like Adam Vinatieri gets a bed check the night before games. He's like 50 years old. They're like, are you in your bed, Mr. Vinatieri? And he's like, I've been asleep for 2 fucking hours. I got 16 kids.
You don't have to tell me when to go to sleep.
Yeah, take it easy. Listen, if I pump balls good tomorrow, get off my dick. How about that? That's all I thought. But
Yeah.
Number one fan, you and Mom.
Yep.
I'm a huge fan of you can go out if you want, but you're going to deal with the consequences.
Well, you got to go to school. It like teaches you things. Like my brother is 4 years older than me, and I was friends with his friends a lot. So whenever they were getting into things, I would hang out with them, and I'd be out to like 11 or 11:30 or 12, and then 6 a.m. that fucking wake up call that comes the next morning. That's pretty fucking early for school.
Yeah.
So then you start having to really weigh pros and cons of every situation. You're like, Okay, it's Tuesday night of a bye week. Do we go out and buy 100 shots of tequila? Yeah, we ain't really got much tomorrow. Let's. That's a job you hated most.
I don't think I've ever really hated any jobs.
That moving job had to be a fucking nightmare.
You know what? I enjoyed it because
You know, like how everybody, like, right, this is how we know the whole his DNA did not fully infiltrate me. Because, like, if somebody calls to ask me if I can help them move, like, I'll do it because I'm a good friend. But, boy, I'm going to make sure they know that we could just hire somebody to do this. Like, we can make sure that moving is the worst thing on earth. And you were a professional mover.
13 years.
Just a grunt.
Well, I wouldn't call it a grunt. I was the boss.
Cross country.
Yep.
Trucking.
Yep. Truck driver.
North America?
Yeah.
Yep.
What do you mean by North America?
Well, I'm saying the company.
No. It was a local company called Forest Hills Transfer and Storage.
Right down the street from where you grew up.
Yeah, I could walk to work when I turned 18 and started working there. Then when I became 21, they made me a driver, and then I had my own truck and my own crew and all that stuff. And we used to travel all over the place.
How unhealthy is the truck driver's life?
Truck driver's life sucks. If you're just a truck driver, you know, one guy that drives freight from one dock to another dock, and, you know, they have to drive all the time and keep moving, and they eat at truck stops or wherever the heck they go. I was a mover, which was different because when I'd go somewhere, I would actually have a location to go to, and I'd be at that person's house for 3 or 4 days, packing all their stuff in boxes, inventory and everything, loading it on the truck, and then taking it somewhere and delivering it. And I always had a helper with me who would, you know, always became a good friend, you know, to whoever the helper was.
Well, it has to be. You're in close quarters with each other.
But, you know, when we did trips, we would do stuff too. We wouldn't just work. You know, we'd go tour battleships, or we'd go.
Does Sally McAfee know this?
Yeah.
Oh.
Or we'd go fishing.
Dad's about to run into a fucking nightmare tomorrow night after this show's release. He has no clue.
And then when I was doing all the triathlons, I would have my bicycle tied to the back of the tractor, and I'd ride whenever I get somewhere, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So.
Did you ever break anything?
No, never.
I feel like you were probably a pretty good mover, though.
Very successful as a mover.
Not me.
Yeah.
I just throw shit.
Yeah.
I will get a new one.
I'm the worst at that.
Worst. I literally, everything is like a pros and cons. Every single item is not, I'm not attached to you. Like when a move happens, every item in my house needs to know they are replaceable. Like if it doesn't get lifted in the first shrug or doesn't slide in the first shrug, staying with the house. This one's staying in the apartment.
Yeah, the worst thing that happened was actually a really short move. It was just from Pittsburgh to Columbus. Mm-hmm. But the tractor trailers that we had for furniture had air ride suspensions on them, so it would just be a nice cushioned ride. So you'd put all the furniture in and you'd stack it all up. Well, that suspension went bad on the ride.
Good.
So it was like riding right on the road without any kind of springs or air. Or
yeah, you were a cholo riding low.
It was like a hardtail Harley, you know, just pounding the crap out of everything. I got there and the boxes were like 4 inches shorter than when we started.
Hey, this one's on me. Well, it's not. It's the truck, but you get it.
Yeah, but when we got there, we ended up having, you know, probably minimal damage based on how bad the ride was. But yeah, it was scary.
You grew up in a city and you love fishing and hunting.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. Always wanted to fish and hunt. And my dad never did anything like that. So when I was 17, I was dating a girl from the country. She was like 20 miles away, and her dad hunted and fished and all that other stuff. So I asked him if I could go with him, and that's how I started doing it.
He took me hunting and fishing a few times.
Yeah.
Dad, how am I as a fisherman?
Not good.
The worst.
Yeah, that's because you can't fix stuff. You can't. That's the same patience you need when you're fishing.
Bro, I've caught 14 electrical wires in my life, 0 fish.
That's pretty accurate.
And then he makes me fucking unwrap the entire fishing line that's up on a fucking telephone pole. He's like, yeah, figure it out. This is a part of it. I'm like, oh, this whole fishing thing is a fucking nightmare. And then hunting, you took me hunting a few times.
Yeah, you were successful too.
I have a couple kills.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a couple deer.
2. By the way, when I was 13.
13 and 14, I think. 13
and 14?
Yeah.
And I actually killed a deer without shooting it.
Yeah. We don't know how that
Would you kill it with a shovel?
Bryce Vicento, Call of Duty professional player, was killing people with a shovel the other night at an incredible rate. It's on Twitch. You should check that out. It's from Tuesday night. But yeah, I think we gave it a heart attack, right?
You had to because we couldn't find a bullet hole.
Couldn't do anything. Saved all the meat. Perfect kill, they would call it.
Yeah, when I butchered it, I didn't find anything.
Yeah, he used to just, in the garage, he would just cut open. It was like a full anatomy class in the garage, cutting buttholes open and everything like that.
No, we did that in the woods.
Yeah, I had to do that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, let the shit pour out.
Yeah, they get the guts out.
Yeah, you cut the butthole all the way up to the fucking chest.
I'm just a pussy, man.
Me too. I stopped doing it. The reason why I really stopped, though, is after my second kill, we're deep in the woods. Because Tim McAfee wants to go deep in the woods just so we can have a hike/camping experience. Probably, how many miles in the woods do you think?
2 or 3 maybe.
We're like 3 miles deep in the woods. Way in the woods, okay? I get a kill. Good for me. Everybody's happy. Early in the morning. Early in the morning kill. It's like 9 a.m.
Was it?
Yeah, I had to sit around all day.
Yeah.
I had to sit around all fucking day for these guys. I'm like, listen.
Oh, because you can only kill one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to sit around for them to kill a deer, right? I think I was the only one that day.
Yeah, it was me and Coach and you.
I was the only one that got a deer that day. And Jay. Jay was with us.
No.
Yeah, I think Jay was a part of the hike.
No, I don't think so.
I'm thinking he was. You're going to be a bad father here.
I don't think he was.
All right. I'm a bad brother then. So we're in the middle of these fucking woods. There's snow on the ground. It finally, nightfall comes. I'm bored, man. I've been sitting around for 6 hours at this point with nothing to do. Nothing at all. So it's like, there was no ATVs allowed in the woods. No ATVs because it was a state park.
No, it was a national forest.
National forest.
Yep.
No ATVs, nothing. You had to walk. So it's the old drag rope around the head of the deer, and you just got to walk it the fuck out. 3 miles.
Wow.
That's the starting point, 3 miles.
Yeah, that wasn't bad, the 3 miles.
We get to a fork in the road on top of one mountain, okay, where Coach, his friend, goes, we came up this way. I remember that tree. And my dad goes, no. And he pulls out the compass, okay? And he pulls out this fucking compass, and he starts drawing X's and O's like a football play in the snow. He goes, we came in that way. And Coach is like, I don't think so. And I have no idea. I'm just sitting along for the ride. My dad's like, no, the compass says it's right here. We'll go out this way. 5 mile hike later, we came out at another street, like 3.5, 4 miles down the road.
I was going to say 5 or 6, but yeah, it was way down the road.
5 or 6 miles down the road. I'm just dragging this fucking deer up mountains, down mountains, the whole fucking thing. Just motherfucking him the whole time, too. I'm like 14 years old, and I am not scared to use the fuck you just to him the whole time.
I took his gun from him.
Yeah. So I'm just walking. This is like a 3-4. It's dark. It is dark, and we're just walking aimlessly through the woods. Who knows where the fuck we are? I'm just dragging this deer, which is not easy. It is go over logs, over creeks, this whole thing.
The horns would get stuck on crap.
It was a fucking nightmare, right?
About 2 feet of snow, which was nice for sliding.
Because it would slide down hills, but then up hills, you would slip, though, right? So now you're a whole battle. And my dad, asshole, he sees that we're about to get out to the street, right? Because I'm just head down walking. He's like, here, let me help you out. I'm like, thanks. This is the first time. This is the first time anybody has offered to help. He grabs the rope, right? And just walks it up this one hill. And he goes, oh, we're here. And it was a house. And I was like, you fucking prick. Because he's going to tell the story now that he helped, Just like my mom and him used to do puzzles back in the day. And he would hide one piece. So they would get the whole entire puzzle done, and then my dad would whip out the final piece and be like, boom, finished it. That's what he fucking did with the deer thing. Oh, man.
And then we asked those guys, hey, where are we at?
Where exactly are we? We walked through some guy's backyard.
He's like, I'll give you a ride up to your camp. And he's driving, and he's like, where's it at? I said, keep going.
Yeah, we got
keep
a
going.
few more miles,
Keep
cuzzo.
going.
Just
Yeah.
way deep in the mountains.
That's hilarious. You drug a heavy-ass deer
Forever.
Probably
in
5
the
miles.
snow for 5 miles.
He wanted to leave it.
Through mountains. I was done with it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about this deer. Let nature take care of it. My dad's like, no, you can't do that. Whenever you hunt, you eat it. It's not a waste of meat. We actually hunt for food, not hunt for fun. I'm like, fuck you and your little righteous statement right there. Because this hunt feels like I'm about to die. That's where these quads come from.
I was just going to say, that's where those quads came. That 10-mile deer snow hike.
Yeah, people don't know the originator of Quadfather came from the woods, a mountain hike that my dad fucking put me through. It was insane. I haven't hunted since.
No, you haven't.
Haven't hunted since. Next year, hey, you want to go? I'm going to take this year off, I think. I think I did enough last year.
Yeah.
Dad, I do want to thank you, though. I feel like you exposed me to so many things that makes me a very well-rounded person. And you drummed in my head that if I'm not working, somebody else will be. And if I want to get it, you got to go get it. That's basically, we used to spend hours and hours and hours on this high school football field kicking 2 balls. It was 2 balls. We had 2 fucking balls. I'd kick it. He'd try to throw it back. Another throwback. Then I kick again. We're out there for hours and hours. He threw out his shoulder. Dude can't even throw a football anymore. He has to throw an underhand now. We used to just do it. I very much appreciate you, man. I love you very much, and I'm thankful for you.
Love you too. Appreciate everything you've done for us too.
Hey, no problem.
You've been sharing.
But you did hang up on me in jail.
Allegedly.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tim McAfee. What a human. My dad's a legend. Absolute legend.
I love that story.
He's outrageous. My father is a human that you just, if you don't know him, you would definitely judge him and he would not give a fuck. But once you meet him, he's just like the nicest human on earth. Gives zero fucks about anything. Let's just work and keep it moving, basically, is how he looks at everything. Let's just go. Let's go.
Having you drag
5 miles.
5 miles with a deer.
Through the mountains with a fucking deer.
With the antlers getting stuck and shit.
Yeah.
And then helping you the last 2 blocks.
Just so he can say he took the final piece of the fucking
man.
puzzle. What a human.
What a dad move.
What a hilarious move. Good for him. He owns his own company now. He's 50 plus years old and accomplished the American dream. I got a chance to give him a company. That was one of the coolest things on earth. I'm happy for him. He doesn't enjoy it as much right now, but I think whenever it makes money, he'll enjoy it a lot. He's like, when I was working for other people, I was making money. Not a lot, but I was at least making money. Now we're just sitting here fucking 0. We're not losing, but boy, we ain't fucking making. It's a hilarious conversation. He'll stick with it though. He's a good paint. Like right now, he does finishing of doors, and they have this big machine, and they color match like cabinets and shit. It's pretty awesome. They're getting these big jobs from architects, and I think he's really getting nervous as fuck that they're not going to be able to complete them, and psyched that he's starting to get a lot of business. So it's like one way or the other. But he's first starting to get his first big clients, you know? And he was in the office until like 2 a.m. the other night, like just finishing these things. He's like, I want to make sure this Swiss cheese door looks good. I was like, what is that? He was like, some client wanted a Swiss cheese door, and then we had to match it with 2 others. So we got to make good Swiss cheese doors. I was just like dying laughing. And that's all like finishing. So like finish is all the paints. The finish is just how everything looks. You can take a very terrible piece of wood and make it look like fucking mahogany with the right finish.
Yeah.
And that's what he does. He's like an artist. Guy's been everywhere, man. Mover, truck driver, wood salesman, cabinet salesman, and now he's like an artist painting cabinets. Fucking happy for him. Fucking happy for him. The Pat McAfee Show is made possible by Upstart. Never judge a book by its cover. That's sound advice, but it doesn't apply to the banks when you apply for a personal loan. Assholes. They take one look at your so-so credit score and their minds are already made up. If you need to borrow money, consider Upstart. Upstart is revolutionizing the personal loan experience by going beyond the traditional credit score to assess credit worthiness for a personal loan. This is a good thing. This is something that the world has needed for a very long time. The old credit score has ruined a lot of people's lives for a long time. And Upstart is just going after your happiness. Using more than just your credit score, Upstart takes into account factors like your job experience, your education, when determining your interest rate. With Upstart, applying for and receiving the funds you need is quick and easy. In just 2 minutes, you can find out your Upstart rate, and once your loan is approved, you can get your funds as soon as the next day. What? Wow. Oh, I need money tomorrow. Upstart got you. Here we go. Bang, bang, bang. Let's make this happen as quick as possible. This is a you and me situation. You and me, you being person who needs it, me being Upstart. Let's take care of the situation right now. Bang, bang, bang. We're not going to judge you for your credit score, bro.
Listen, we see you have past experience. You went through a little bump in the road. A couple things went wrong.
We get it. We're here for you.
We're not looking at that.
Plus, checking your rate is free and does not affect your credit. Whether you need to pay off credit cards, consolidate debt, or make a large purchase, an Upstart personal loan can help. There's more to you than just your credit score. You need to know that. Skip the traditional loan process and see how low your Upstart rate is now at upstart.com/heartland. Remember, it takes just 2 minutes to check your rate. That's upstart.com/heartland. 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 Other restrictions apply. See site for details. Upstart loans are offered by Cross River Bank, a New Jersey state-chartered commercial bank. See upstart.com/heartland for details. That was real small print at the bottom.
Boom.
Nailed it.
I love your small print voice.
Bro, I very much enjoy that. I get real jacked up for it. I feel like that was the real talent in his voiceovers back in the day on commercials.
Yeah.
Like the motherfuckers that can slip in, like when it's a pill that like live longer, and then it's possible side effects are that you could die tomorrow.
They can speak so quick, too.
So quick and casual. You can die tomorrow. Your tongue can become 3 sizes. You won't be able to breathe for 4 days. There might be a tumor on your nose. Your ears will definitely grow to a size that'll be noticeable. Your chin and cheek ratio will change drastically. Your chest could be all the way expanded until it explodes. Your arms are going to get frail. Your fingers are going to look tiny. Your knees could be terrible. Your ankles are the worst on earth. Shins are going to be like you just took a hockey stick to it. And possibly knees are going to feel like they're Pat McAfee's in year 8 of his NFL career. You could live longer. Live today with blah. That's a real commercial. Like
all of that with B-roll of just like a couple walking on the beach.
Oh, so happy.
That's it.
So happy.
Just touching flowers.
Oh, this is live.
A nice soft like song in the background. But you might die.
Live longer. Or die tomorrow.
Or die from asshole swelling.
Speaking of a guy that I don't want ever to die, it was a great conversation. He or we lost connection towards the end of it, so you might hear a little bit of a muffle in his voice, but goddamn, good conversation with this guy who's doing something special for his hometown of Las Vegas, NASCAR driver Kurt Busch. Joining me now is a man who drives cars fast, Shaun.
Very fast.
Very fast. And one particular day, he did 1,000 miles of racing, and I got a chance to watch the first half of that when he did the Indy 500. He's related to the guy I talked to last week who was wearing a yellow M&M's hoodie. He's the older brother of Sir Kyle, Mr. KY. Ladies and gentlemen, in a sport coat and a button-up, looking dapper as hell. I think he's newly married, NASCAR champion, Kurt Busch. Okay, Kurt.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for the nice introduction. And this is just left over from a Forbes interview I was just doing.
I said that last week.
Yeah, we had that same issue over here just a week ago. You're a large name in the NASCAR community, not only because your brother does well, but because you're very successful. You have a famous wife, and I just learned about this thing you're doing for the victims of the Vegas shooting, and I can't wait to hear a little bit more about it. So you guys are doing an event in Vegas. You've got behind it. Some other celebrities have gotten behind it and raising a bunch of money. Why don't you go ahead and speak about that a little bit?
Yeah, we're arranging a celebrity charity go-kart event at Pole Position Raceway in Vegas. It's my hometown, and when you feel that emotion from everybody in that tragedy, it's just sparked me to do more, and all the team that's around me and all the people that are helping out. So we'll be in Vegas in a couple weeks to do our year-end celebration of the NASCAR circuit. And I'm like, you know what? Let's get everybody together. Let's try to raise some funds, raise some awareness, and to give back to our brothers and sisters who went through that tragedy in Vegas. It'll be at Pole Position Raceway, and we're trying to get everybody together to come out. And it'll be November 28th on a Tuesday afternoon, evening. And we're trying to get all the details ironed out now. But if everybody's in Vegas, Tuesday, November 28th, come on by Pole Position Raceway.
I think you're going to have to scream into that microphone. Is that what you're saying? You're going to have to talk at a loud rate, because what you just said is one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. A guy who is going back to his hometown that is that went through one of the worst tragedies in the history of the world. It was the largest mass shooting in America. Just a terrible event. And you're putting on a fundraiser for that. It's incredible. You're a really good human for that. I want to let you know that. And I want to let you know that if I was to go get in them go-karts and you and I weighed the exact same, I drove the pace car at the Grand Prix here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I feel like I'd have a chance. I'm more like a Donkey Kong and you're like a Luigi, but I feel good about it.
Oh, yeah. No, I'd be lapping you. I'd be doing circles around you. But if you really want that fair shake of a race, I'll wear a weight belt. I'll tack on some weight to the car. I don't want to hear any excuses from your side.
I love that so much. Are you good at Mario Kart?
Oh, yeah. I'm master at Mario Kart.
Oh, wow.
Because
I carry a banana peel with me all the time.
Listen, do you ever, whenever you're driving, do you drive fast like when you're casually driving it as a citizen on a highway?
In all honesty, my wife says I drive like a grandpa. So I've given her that comfort in the car. And truly, honestly, yeah, I do drive slow out on the roadways. There's no reason to get in a hurry out there. I'm trying to set an example, because if I get pulled over,
they always tell me, you know better, that the speed's supposed to be on the racetrack, not on their highway.
I feel like that's such a hardo move by those cops. I feel like if I pull over a professional driver and I'm a cop, I'd be like, yeah, you've earned the right. You're a professional. You're a better driver than everybody. You do what you got to do.
Oh, no. Their ego is way more important than who I am.
All right. So you're newly married, right?
Yes, sir. No, a wonderful, beautiful bride, Ashley. She's so smart and intelligent. She's a polo player, and I can't wait to start a family together. It is absolutely the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life.
So in the email I got telling me I was interviewing you, I was very excited. I was reading it. They talked about your wife. They said she was a polo player. I just learned polo is the Ralph Lauren thing. That's the Ralph Lauren. That's their logo, right?
Yeah, they got their logo. She's actually endorsed by U.S. Polo Association.
Oh,
so
shit.
USPA, they have their double horseman logo. So you got to throw out all your Ralph Lauren stuff, get USPA stuff now.
Hey, listen, now that I'm in the polo game, which I just learned what the fuck, I had no clue what it was. I thought polo, she was like a water polo. I thought I was talking to somebody who was like the best water treader in the history of the world. And I learned that it's the English. The English play that game, right? Isn't that a big like Kings and Queens game?
Yes, it's on horses. It's not in the water polo pool. And yes, game of kings, I hear is what it's called. But it's actually a fun time. And the fun that I have with Ashley and the support that I give her, it reminds me of when I was starting out in racing with their team, the horses, the truck and the trailer, the equipment. There's a lot that is very comparable from the polo world to the NASCAR world, but it's fun to help her out and to be there supporting her when I'm not racing. I love it.
Husband of the year right there.
That's 100%.
Husband of the year right there. I think you're up for that award. Have you ever got on a horse and played?
I have jumped on some of her horses. I just kind of put around, keep it in first gear. I got to keep it as kosher as I can. I'm not very confident riding the horses.
Yeah, we can't have you breaking a leg.
Yeah, no broken. I feel like people fall off of horses who aren't good at horses and hurt themselves from the horse.
Yeah, I feel like my job is actually safer with the roll cage, the helmet, the seat that I sit in. For her, I think polo is way more dangerous than racing.
All right, I don't ever want to talk about this because it's negative, but it just popped in my head, and that's the way I roll. Have you ever gotten into an accident and in the middle of it, like Ricky Bobby, been like, I'm in a bad place right now. Like, I am flying through the air right now. Like, this is not good. Is that, or is it all just a blur? You're trying to survive?
No, I mean, there are those moments where you see sometimes bad situations and it's going to happen. You're going to wreck. But then there's the other ones where you get clipped and you're like, and you're in this like twilight zone for a second of, oh, this is going to get big. And literally, I mean, you just kind of, you try to remember to just pull your arms in, close your eyes, and hope for the best.
Every time I was about to get blocked, I would do the same thing in the NFL. Just pull my arms in, close my eyes, and hope for the fucking best, Kurt. All right, you guys got a race at Homestead. Wrapping up the NASCAR season, I believe. Your brother told a story about winning, and afterwards in the campground, he had people running through a lake naked and celebrating. It's a big party. Do you partake in the campground activities after Homestead?
I wanted years ago. Maybe it was a bit more polite then. I don't know. I mean, but hell, there's a party and somebody's won, and it's my brother. I'll be there for sure. I mean, I would say any and every place that we go to, it started way back in the day where people take their coolers and they would slide them down the banking and party on the track afterwards. So there's always going to be something for our fans that they create, and that happens with the winner afterwards, and you just don't know what's going to happen, so you just roll with it.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, Kurt, I appreciate you so much for joining us. I think the signal's getting weak, but that doesn't mean you don't still look damn good, sound damn good. What you're doing in Las Vegas at Pole
Position Raceway. Thank you. Appreciate that. And next time you see me, I'll have my driver's suit on going to Victory Lane in Miami this weekend.
Let's go. Let's go. Victory Lane. Then we're going to Pole Position Raceway. Then we're having a good time raising money for Vegas, for his hometown. He's dressed nice. He's married to a lady who plays the Kings game. He's living life right. His brother's a racer. He's a legend. Ladies and gentlemen, Kurt Busch. Thank you, Kurt. The signal got a little
All right,
shitty there. Shitty there midway. We're in the middle of a tornado right now. We apologize.
All right, man. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one, Kurt.
We'll see.
Good convo with Kurt Busch. Guy drives cars fast for a living, and he looked good. He looked damn good. And if that girl's playing polo, she must be just a great athlete. Riding a horse and bouncing off of a horse while riding. That's like riding side saddle almost. And just hitting a ball. Think those athletes, though. The horses, I mean, real athletes out there.
That gentleman is winning. At
Winning.
life.
I'll see you in
Every
victory
angle.
lane, he said. I'll
Yep.
see you in victory lane. That's like Russell Wilson's Go Hawks. Every NASCAR driver, well, we're going to try to drive real good. Yeah, I got Skittles, M&Ms, and Pepto-Bismol really putting up a lot of great money for me, but I can't wait to get out there on the track, and I'll tell you what, I'll see you at victory lane there. All right, that's the show. From myself, at Pat McAfee Show, at Nick Morano, World News Nick, at Shaun Latham, Birthday Week, at Evan Foxy.
Sup?
Yikes.
Ooh, tough crowd.
Can I live?
Oh,
Can I just live?
wow. Can we live? At Ty Schmidt. Stick around after if you'd like to hear a conversation with the new Mythbusters, a show that I very much loved back in the day. Has been rebooted with 2 new hosts, and they seem to be pretty cool guys. That conversation will be coming on here in just a second. I can't wait to talk to you tomorrow as we send you into the weekend in the most positive, hypest fashion possible. The end of the week is tomorrow. Let's go ahead and face fuck the weekend before it gets started. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's go. Joining me now from the West Coast somewhere. I'm not sure. Where are you guys at right now?
We're in Santa Clarita.
That's right.
Which sounds beautiful. Never been. Sounds amazing. The new team of Mythbusters, which is going to just absolutely captivate America, just like the last Mythbusters did. It's redone, revamped, rebooting on November 15th, Wednesday night at 9 p.m. on the Science Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, Jon and Brian. All right, Jon and Brian.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Is this dream gig for like scientists?
Yes. I mean, me and Brian were 14-year-long fans of Mythbusters originally. You know, like the first Burned Eyebrow all the way to the last episode where, you know, Jamie and him drive a plow truck through all the stuff they had built over the 14 years. And so it's kind of a huge honor to be, I guess, the next generation of Mythbusters building off that legacy we grew up with.
It was so gigantic. I remember my dad was in on it. I liked it. It really just captivated all different types of demographics because they were taking on shit that you would never think about. And just like I remember whenever they said that the helium, because I was a punter, helium in a football didn't actually help. It actually hurt or something like that. And I was like, holy fuck, these guys are taking on my life. What are some things in the 14 episodes that you guys are about to release that people will be mind blown about? Like what's one that I should look forward to?
Ooh, I mean, there's a lot to look forward to, and we don't want to give you any spoilers, but what do you think?
Rocket Sword?
Yeah. Okay, great. I think Brian and I agree on this one. You ever watch, basically it's a movie trope where, good guy swings a sword at the bad guy, cuts right through him, but nothing happens until a few dramatic beats later, and then, the bad guy falls apart. That's actually called delayed causality.
Yeah.
There you go.
The fuck just happened? You guys said that whenever somebody cuts through somebody, is that what you said? And then their body.
Yeah, you're the superhuman ninja or whatever in the show or the robot, and you cut someone in half and they don't move because they might even think, hey, I'm fine. That guy missed. And then once they have a beat, that's when that slow little drip comes out and then off a half of their body
Yep.
side.
I always thought that was for dramatic purposes, but you guys are saying this is delayed casualty?
A delayed causality.
Fuck, those words are way over my head. Listen, I talked to Bill Nye, the science guy, last week. He blew my mind too. So you guys basically are taking on things that happen in the world and trying to prove if the science behind it is correct. That's basically Mythbusters, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
That is fucking awesome. Has there been any near-death experiences?
I don't think so. Just because, the crew takes safety pretty seriously. We have a nice small crew. A lot of the original Mythbusters crew is here, which is great. You got Steve, directing, and Heapy doing camera. And so it's just the number one rule is that there's no, oh, you're a PA, you don't get to talk about safety. It's like everyone gets to talk about safety. And so anyone can call oh, abort, and then everyone stops. Doesn't matter who it is. So I'm happy to report that we've had no near-death experiences so far.
Okay, because
Thanks, right?
Yeah, hey guys, proud of you because like back in the Adam and Jamie used to blow things up that were just massive in size, and it was like the danger levels were outrageous. So it's nice to hear that you guys got a solid, smart team around you, looking out for some precautionary things.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, we're lucky they had the experience with Adam and Jamie, and they brought that knowledge to us.
Yeah, let
to be
Adam
able
and
to
Jamie
see.
be the guinea pigs. Yeah, let those guys almost die. What is something you've learned from doing the show that you didn't know before getting in? Like, has any of them, like any myths that got busted, like blew your mind, or is everything kind of gone as expected?
I mean, I can tell you one fact I didn't know. I can tell you now that I would want to be nowhere near an explosion that's made out of 22 days worth of farts. Learned that.
Oh snap! We almost got him.
That was so far out of left field there. I could not have ever. I don't know how you guys come up that 22 days of farts is the accurate description, but that's something that Mythbusters does that nobody knows you need to know. I didn't know I needed to know that until right now.
And that's the great thing, man. That's what I love.
Who pitches the ideas? Is it your guys' ideas? Do people like write in? Is there a whole team? What is it? How's it work?
Ideas do come from people like on forums or sending us emails or who we just casually talk to. But we also have a whole team of producers who come up with ideas. And then we sort of all get together and vet the idea and determine, is it what it takes to make not only a myth, but a TV show that's a myth.
Are you doing the footballs? Deflating?
Well, Deflategate was handled back on The Surge, Mythbusters The Surge.
Wow. I didn't know that. See, that's something I had no idea.
The 10-week competition show or 8-week competition that led up to us getting these jobs, actually.
Wow. See, I should have done more research. I should have known that. That's where I'm not a professional. Is there any like marijuana or alcohol myths that you go after? Because we're kind of in the middle of a prohibition situation here in America. I'll be excited to hear about.
John will look over at me, but I will definitely talk about that one because I think basically everything Mythbusters has done in the past with alcohol sort of can be reapplied to marijuana. And since it sort of falls in line with everything else we test, if it is legal and it's testable and there's an actual myth in a question, we want to test it. So as long as everything falls in line, I personally wouldn't be against testing marijuana myths that are as valid as alcohol myths we tested.
If you guys need any guinea pigs or anything, I'll fly to wherever you need me to.
You volunteering?
Yeah, man. As long as it's around an edible or a smoking situation, you can analyze the fuck out of me all you want, whatever you want. My reaction.
I don't know, man. How you feel about tubes in weird places? It's been an odd season.
I'm not a big butt plug guy, like a butt chug guy. I'm not into that, but I could definitely through my mouth. I'll smoke things. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right. We can do that.
Is Bigfoot real or what?
I don't know. Shoot.
Man, that's one where I mean that sort of seems like off time type of stuff for me. I'll go camp out in the trees and hang out for a month looking for them.
Okay. So you guys, how do you get picked for this? Because it seems you have to be the perfect personality because Adam and Jamie had that gold. Now, granted, I don't know how it ended up, but when they were together, it was like magic. It was the great mustache with the great personality, the brains coming together, an entire team behind it. Did you guys know you were going to do this? Did they set you up together or did you guys find each other? What happened with that?
No, well, right before this all happened, we did something called Mythbusters The Search. And so that was an 8-week competition show where they brought in they whittled down the couple thousand people who applied to a couple hundred to about 30 or so. And from that 30 to a final 10, which they brought to San Francisco to kind of run through the ringer of Mythbusters kind of tests. So, we did main myths and teams and individual myths to kind of test personalities and stuff. And I guess it's just one big chemistry test to see who could work with who the best and that kind of thing.
Simon Cowell put the One Direction together in the same type of fashion.
There you go.
We actually, the search was led by the original executive producer of Mythbusters itself, Dan Tapster. So if the group who actually put me and John together was a lot of the OG crew. They're the ones who decided me and John would fit that mold.
That's fantastic news because I'm assuming that there's a lot of people, just like when Saved by the Bell went to the college years, it wasn't as good. I'm assuming there's a lot of people who are going to hear that a Mythbusters remake is coming out and they're going to say, don't fucking do that, right? There's just a natural reaction from people. But to hear that you guys were put together by the original staff and the original crew, I think Mythbusters is something that'll work out perfect in 2017. I'm excited excited to watch it.
Yeah, and also I think the biggest part of the original Mythbusters legacy was making engineering and designing and building kind of really accessible to the public. Whether you're a kid or an adult, you don't have that kind of experience, and they made it easy. They made it easy and understandable. And I think that kind of legacy moves beyond who the hosts are. And I know Brian says this all the time. It's like, eventually whenever we retire stuff, we expect someone else to pick up this Mythbusters mantle and keep going.
That's awesome. Such an incredible legacy, this Mythbusters thing. I had no idea I was interested in some of this shit until you start seeing it.
Yeah, man, we know exactly how you feel.
Yeah.
What's a myth that you haven't been able to bust yet that you're looking forward to?
Oh, yeah. Brian's got it in the bag.
I in the bag.
There you go.
All right, so here's my myth that I really want to do, and I'm a biologist, so this idea of the hero botanist astronaut really appeals to me. I want to test that idea that Mark Watney could have gone out and grown in Martian soil and his feces potatoes on Mars.
What is that? That's whatchamacallit, that movie.
Yeah, The Martian.
The Martian. Yeah, that one.
Right.
I watched that movie. That was outrageous. But you're trying to figure out if it's real or not.
That's it. That's exactly. We don't go to movies for a lot of myths because it's got to be something that's reasonable in the real world. But that's a perfect one for me. Like, as a biologist, I want to know, do you need more than Martian rock, which is going to be a special type of rock, and a little bit of, some feces, and when you combine the two, can you make potatoes,
That's fucking brilliant. That's amazing.
I think so.
What do you guys do for fun when you're not just solving the world's issues? I assume your brains, hold on though, I assume your brains are just so much smarter than mine. I mean, the shit you just put together in that sentence right there, that guy. And then the other, it's just outrageous. What do you do for fun? What does super intelligent, high level people who are solving the world's problem do for fun?
Well, that's super flattering.
Yeah.
If I can get in the shop, I will just come in here and just build random stuff.
Yep, that's what
That's
I'm talking
basically my pastime.
That's
I love to tinker. I like new hobbies and new things I'm learning. Like, I build drones, I blacksmith, I scuba dive, but most of the time, like, my family's got 180 acres of pine forest in Louisiana. I spend a lot of time out there hanging out. I'll go, I recently started clearing out an acre to build my shop out there and just sort of live your life, and I like that chill life where you're just sort of solving your problems as you go.
I'll tell you what, I went hogging and frogging down there in Louisiana one time in some pine forest down there. I had a great time. Good people down there. Great time in Louisiana.
Well, you're cutting out on us now. We're losing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said I was hogging and frogging in Louisiana. I don't know if you I went hogging and frogging down there. I had an absolute blast. I feel like the outdoors stuff in Louisiana is outrageously fun. I went alligator hunting, the whole thing.
Oh, snap. Alligator hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found him, John.
That's the proper Louisiana experience.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die a few times. I mean, that's what you got to do. All right. Well, hey, fellas, I appreciate you so much taking time with me. I cannot wait to watch this Wednesday, November 15th at 9 p.m. on the Science Channel. Shout out Science Channel for putting CPR into a legacy and a brand that the world needs right now more than ever. So big thank you to Jon and Brian here, the Mythbusters new crew. I can't wait to watch it. What's the first episode?
Ooh, actually, you know what? Sometimes they switch that stuff around on us, but I think it's not the. I think it's
airbags. Putting your feet on the airbag while you're going down the road in the car.
Is that going to kill me? Are my legs going to go up over my head? Tell me now, John.
Watch and find out.
Because I do wonder that. Because I'm a leg up type of guy, and I'm like, man, if
you're
something
definitely going to want to watch.
God damn it! It's these little things that I didn't know I needed to know that Mythbusters brings to the world. Hey, I appreciate you guys. You guys have an incredible weekend. Good luck with Mythbusters. Come back on the show whenever season 2 gets picked up, season 3, season 4. Good luck.
Dude, our pleasure.
Man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. That was awesome.